Public save. Here we are. Oh my god.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah. Wow.
Born to be kings.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's time. It's time to wrap up the Blade arc, I guess. For now. I don't even know how to start this one. This movie was really shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Well, here, we'll go from...
off.
Yeah, everyone just quickly shout out your opinion on it.
Terrible.
Well, let people arrive. I think YouTube hasn't even realized we're properly live yet, so...
I just want to make sure we're all on the same page that this is a bad movie, because I think we need to establish that as a baseline for the conversation.
I haven't heard Fringy say anything about the movie yet. Maybe it's like, "What? This one was amazing." I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
I mean, seriously, if that was anyone's opinion here, I would be intrigued to hear the argument.
I don't know what the arguments would be.
Yeah, what could they be?
I can't even imagine the made-up ones that I would come up with if I was tasked with saying that I thought it was good.
Yeah, I don't. This one shell shocked me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yeah, this is probably gonna be kind of bad, and it's like, this wasn't as strong as the other one, but it just kept going. I was like, wow, I don't know.
It shell shocked me, and I'm pretty sure I've seen this movie twice or three times. Like, I still couldn't believe how bad it was this time.
I'm still recovering from pure concentrated 6-hour Boogie marathon. Yeah, I did. I know you guys were having some fun with the Boogie stuff. I didn't even know who.
Yeah, we're only halfway through the adventure.
Really?
The last episode was it was kind of like the painting the picture in the lead up to the recent controversy about Boogie. So yeah.
Oh god.
I'm at the Turkey Tom segment. I think I'm like 5.5 hours in or something. Maybe 5.
That ETHAP made me lose my mind.
Oh my god, yeah, like he's just the worst human being.
It was mostly the weight loss
part. He might be the worst of us.
He's
insane.
He's a character, that's for sure.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try to weasel my way into a part 2, because I was invited for part 1, but I had a friendo over, so I wasn't available.
Well, yeah, we'll see what that group's gonna look like.
Yeah, I know you guys were packed already, so.
Yes, full house. It's look, all right, Boogie. He's a fascinating character. There's so much to be said about his journey.
That's one way to put it, for sure.
One of the most well-regarded people on the platform to basically like having no respect from anybody whatsoever. It's kind of crazy.
It's quite the journey. It's been quite the journey with the big old boogeyman.
Yeah, I'd say it's like Icarus flying too close to the sun, but I don't think that's quite accurate.
Ooh, could you imagine Boogie flying too close to the sun as he bubbles and pops and fries away? Ooh.
I feel like Icarus had a better assumption that he'd be successful.
That is true. That is true.
Well, I think the thing is that Icarus... The whole point is there's ambition. Boogie had no ambition in terms of creating anything worthwhile. The ambition was purely to get more adoration. So in a sense, I guess it's appropriate.
Oh my god. At least Icarus fucking believed in himself.
That clip is... Man, that one is like a...
Wait, James says it's
but
even
it's
funnier.
always
Mala
funny
said
to
there
hear
was
it.
3 parts. Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Oh god.
But what about Deadpool? You guys not gonna do Deadpool? I'd be surprised.
No, we are. We'll just have to figure it out in terms of timing. It's been weird though. I gotta say, like, I actually really liked the first 2 Deadpool movies, but as this one, I only just remembered a couple of days ago, like properly. Oh, that's out this week.
It is. Yeah, I got my
Yeah.
tickets today. I was like, damn, that's like I'm gonna. To be fair,
My girl and I are going Thursday evening.
It's the first time I've actually seen a whole bunch of seats occupied the first day it comes out, so that's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be fairly successful. It seems like compared to last year, this year's summer, oddly enough, is going to be like a lot more consistently profitable, which is kind of interesting. When looking at it, I wondered, like, it was like it's a kind of a bizarre assortment of films coming out, as well as a lot of like absences. Because this is the only Marvel movie this year.
Yeah,
isn't that insane? Yeah. And also very nice.
Yeah, it's good. We'll see. I don't know. I'm like really
Agatha as well.
Yeah, but the last one.
Oh yeah, you're right. Captain America's February.
Yeah, it's next year.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they got moved too. That's right.
And I don't know. I'm concerned about Deadpool. I suppose that's the thing. I wonder.
I think the ticket sales and everything can largely be accounted to. A lot of people have wanted to see Hugh Jackman in a Wolverine suit for a long time, and
I think also Deadpool movies made like
want to go check it out in the theater when most movies they've been skipping clearly. But it's a fluke, right? Because I mean, like Gary always says it. This is a Fox X-Men movie. It's not. It's going to be a Fox X-Men movie where they probably make jokes about the MCU.
Well,
it's unrealistic.
A film that exists and will succeed on the merits of a prior cinematic universe rather than the one it's actually a part of.
Right.
Yeah, the one that's essentially been over for a while, if you don't count the like the Fassbender era as the same universe as the Hugh Jackman Wolverine one. So I guess that gets a little confusing as well.
Yep.
I just hope it's gonna be fine and makes me laugh a little bit. That would make it better than most of everything Disney for a while, which is sad.
I do think the failure of the last few Marvel movies are one of the reasons why we might actually get a decent R-rated movie from Disney, because I think they just need to do something that's going to work now.
I do not expect that Blade, like the Blade movie that they're going to make is probably going to be pretty bad.
I don't even know if that's happening now, because apparently Mahershala Ali's out, so they either have to recast or write a script that he's happy with. And if Deadpool makes a lot of money, there's actually a pretty good chance that Blade would be R-rated.
Yeah, but that doesn't like mean much. I think that the fact that they've been struggling for so long to figure out how to do something that's so simple that they've had to go through multiple directors and screenwriters just seems indicative of some deeper problem of, I guess they don't know how to make a Blade movie, which is fascinating because all you got to do is just have Blade fighting vampires. That's it. Have them fight some vampires.
I think this movie might teach us that you also need some compelling vampires to fight.
Yeah,
that's a real problem here.
Yeah.
Like Blade, the original Blade is the template. You can just
it really is.
And Blade 2 was a great variation on it.
Yeah, this Blade Trinity very much feels like a film that was made post The Matrix. Reminds me of a lot of bad action films that came out in the early to mid 2000s. After The Matrix had a lot of stuff like that. I'm sure there's more that will come to mind as I think about it. But it's just like this era of action films where like they were obsessed with having slow motion and stuff.
Well, the two that got away with it for a little while were Underworld and Resident Evil. Like
they were definitely in that category.
The B movie were trying to be The Matrix, but also where vampires are also where what's it called? God, what was the other thing that I just mentioned? I'm an idiot. Resident Evil, guy. Yeah, so whether Resident Evil characters or were vampires and werewolves, but it's basically us doing The Matrix as a B movie in those genres.
I guess it's just interesting to compare, right? In like the first Blade, where it's got nice, like clean action.
Oh yeah.
Compared to this, where there's like a hell of a lot more shaky cam, slow motion, weird. It's
useless slow motion too. It's like a Zack Snyder movie.
Oh no.
The reality is like Blade Trinity just has like pretty like not good action, and that was like a big part of what I like about Blade.
Well, it's
cool action scenes.
If you remember the first Blade, where Swoll and meme broke out in like a whole tangent about athletics and how good Wesley Snipes looks in these scenes, and it's like, oh yeah, I can tell he knows all these things, he loves martial arts, he's in shape, he can do all these things. You will not hear anything about that today because you barely see him.
Yeah.
I was so sad when the first action scene started. I was like, wow, that's just a car chase. I think it was. Like,
yeah, what a bad idea that was. Like, that's What a bad idea that was.
Yeah, it really
yeah,
was.
you excited to see Blade chasing somebody in a car.
In a car, like
I want to see him punch guys and use his sword.
yeah, and
So-
be cool and stuff, but he's everything except cool. And
I think the problem is that David Goyer can sometimes write, often with help, but he is not very good at directing movies.
Well, this
Special
film had a lot
action.
of that trouble with production, didn't it?
yeah.
Oh,
so
it was really bad.
Oh yeah, but it's the
Yeah.
writer of the first two writing and directing the third one. And I think
Sure.
that they wanted that to be like this big thing. It's like, oh, the guy who's been writing it all along is going to direct the end of the trilogy where he goes up against Dracula.
I don't
and
even
this
know why
is
that
what
would
came
necessarily
out.
be a selling point, because like being a writer doesn't make you a director necessarily.
Yeah,
They're
100%.
different jobs.
That's right.
This
David
movie's a
Goyer
great
wrote Man of
example of
Steel.
that.
That's true. Yeah.
He's written
He
a lot
did.
of. He's a. I don't know what. Well, I think
He's
he
also behind
usually
Batman
writes-
Begins and Dark Knight, apparently, though.
That like I don't know what to. I mean, I'm pretty sure he wrote Black Ops, and I
Hmm.
like Black Ops, so I don't know what I make of him as the screenwriter.
Seems
I
like
feel
he's a bit hit or miss, eh?
Well, at the same time, though, if you're writing this many things, yeah, some of your stuff's probably going to be better than others. You know, like it's
Sure. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's like certain people who are fairly prolific who are also reliable, like that they generally write good things.
yeah, that's true. But I guess like for every Brandon Sanderson, there's a Stephen King. Like, they both crank out books, but generally, like, yeah, well, I mean, like, it's not like I've read every Brandon Sanderson book, but generally it's thought that he's a very high quality writer, whereas I know Stephen King
Well,
is a
actually,
coin
no,
toss.
hold on now, because I'm looking at his. I'm reminding myself of like what he's actually written. So he wrote Terminator: Dark Fate. He wrote Man of
Oh,
Steel. He wrote
David
Batman
Goyer.
v Superman. He has a story credit for Dark Knight Rises. He wrote
Ghost
the Ghost
Rider:
Rider
Spirit of
sequel.
Vengeance.
Yeah, like this actually, like, yeah, no, I'd say he's definitely much more. Now that I remind myself of what he's actually written, I would say that he much more leans towards the bad territory in terms of being a screenwriter. That's what. But, hey, look, right, he did write the first Blade, but I mean, again, that
think, though,
almost
he-
feels like it is indicative of the point, right? The writing in the first Blade is like it's serviceable. It's really it's enough to justify the film and justify the really cool action scenes, and it doesn't really get in the way of and you know there's like some basic character arcs and thematics, whereas in this case like a lot of that is basically gone.
Yeah,
Just
it's
completely.
good. I mean, there's a reason why for the first Blade Forge I choose the title. This is what dumb fun used to be. Just like, here's a serviceable story, so you can get some cool action, a little bit of character arcs, and then you go home happy, full of popcorn and Coke or whatever.
I was gonna say though, for Blade 2, it really seems like, even though David Goyer wrote it, when I talked about The Strain, that book that Guillermo del Toro wrote with like another, like I think he had a writing partner, or a ghostwriter or something like that. But the vampires in that book series and TV show, because they made a show of it, are very similar to the Reapers. So you got to think, like, is that just Guillermo del Toro's vampires that he's had in his head forever and has just been wanting to use in things? And how much of David Goyer writing was his good ideas and Guillermo del Toro like firing him good ideas and him writing a script that held it together well enough? I mean, I have no
raise a good
evidence
point.
on that one way or the other. It's just it seems kind of apparent, having read the Strain books. It's like, oh yeah, these are the Reapers.
Kind of interesting that like Guillermo del Toro just comes along to make the second Blade film before moving on to like Hellboy.
Yeah, that was when it was one of his first English language
Western
movies.
films. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed by it. It kind of made
Well,
me go
before
down
he-
Guillermo del Toro
This
rabbit
was
hole.
before he basically got to do whatever he wanted, which is the era of his career that he's in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hellboy was not long after this, and then Pan's Labyrinth kind of made him huge.
Is Pan's Labyrinth any good? I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's good. It's you actually don't look anything up. Just watch it.
Was that the thing with the hand and the eye and stuff?
Yeah. There's a lot of cool monsters in
That's
it,
all I
but
know about it.
don't look up anything about it, and I think you might find it really interesting.
Okay, well, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Lots of spoilers abound for Pan's Labyrinth, though. People love giving away that ending right away when they talk about it.
Because I'm just thinking about the action scenes in Blade compared to Blade Trinity. I can't help but think about Jackie Chan talking about how, you know, like you don't notice the rhythm until it's gone.
Oh yeah.
In terms of the fight scene choreography.
That's a good saying. I like that. That's great.
Well, it's true for a lot of things that a lot of the time the good work will basically go unnoticed. I know that it's said about kind of sound design. People never really think about sound design intently when they're going to watch something or play a video game, but like you notice it when it's bad. Sometimes you notice it when it's really good, like in the Battlefield games. But it's just the same with like the fight. There's like a rhythm. It's like a dance kind of that. There's a, you know, it's not that you need to figure out timing and like big beats and how what do the crescendos look like, right? How do you inject variety into the fight scene? And it's, I don't know, in Blade Trinity, it's just like it ain't there. It's
I couldn't tell you any sound. It seems like very, I don't know, dollar store music from the first two, kind of. Like a
generated trip hop,
very cheap mix of the ones we had before. It's like, hey, the first one we have Dracula from Rob Zombie, it was, right? And it's like, oh, that's awesome. And here we have like something, I don't know.
Well, we literally saw the playlist at one point in the film. Let us not forget.
Oh, that's probably from
making her playlists. She likes listening to music when she.
What a horrible idea.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that. The iTunes playlist pops up just for a second, and I was like, "Wait, did I just see that? Did that just happen?" And then she gets the earbuds. I was like, "Oh, you know, usually you play the music as you put the earbuds in." Sound editor, but
yeah, like there's no sound design to that at all, was it? It was just like it clicks on.
Man, but yeah, I guess everybody understood now that we're all pretty much on the same on board on the same boat. It's like, yeah, this is pretty awful.
Yeah, it just sucked.
And I guess we can just jump into the big flame. I say it's a big flame. It feels like a bloated flame. I don't know. I think you could have cut out like 20 minutes of this movie.
Probably.
Where's the?
I think that's fair to say.
Button. There it is.
There's a lot more ideas in this one, and they're all so badly executed.
I'm sure there's some ideas somewhere there, but I don't know. I was just thoroughly unimpressed. But hey, we start the movie by seeing the bad guys doing some things, because obviously we're going to Syria, right? It was Syria, right? It was just on screen, but I didn't read it because I'm stupid. And this takes like 5 minutes, but basically all they do is go snoop around in some kind of ancient temple, and they find something hidden in it, which is like some creature, which we learn to know is going to be, you know, the big bad guy.
I thought it was particularly bad how they had like the dropping of the torch and then the flickering. But it wasn't like real flickering. It was just them actually cutting to full like black screen instead of having a flickering light on set. I thought that was really tacky and crap.
Yeah,
just sort of a sign of just the worst filmmaking.
It's like, oh, this is gonna be shit, isn't it? It's like, yep.
Yeah. This actually leads to my first note, which is vampire lady bad actor. That's all I wrote.
Yeah.
Also, did y'all notice that like her fangs didn't fit in her mouth?
That actually, Parker Posey just kind of looks like that.
It's I have another
just
thing.
Kind of don't fit in her mouth.
I think her fake fangs were just in the way of her being able to talk, because it always sounded like she was muffled every time she was talking.
Yeah, she was having problems.
Yeah. It looks like she was having fun with it, though, I guess.
She was a big actress in the mid-90s to late 90s, I guess. She was in Dazed and Confused. Yeah. Funny enough, we were talking about Ultraviolet with Mila Jovovich.
But yeah, they have like technology stuff going on. They're checking out this pyramid temple thingy, and they go downstairs and they find like the big evil man. And they're like, careful, he's gonna be mad or something. that's all that happens here, but it feels like it takes like forever for it to unravel. Does anyone else have anything? I legit don't have anything else for this.
Yeah, no, it's a boring Indiana Jones scene with people who look like they're in Dune 2.
Right.
And they dig up Dracula, but he's like a demon, bat-looking guy. Actually,
So
kind of.
they-
You ever seen Midnight Mass? He's kind of like the thing in Midnight Mass.
Mm.
So they uncover the tomb of Dracula, which was
Quite literally.
which was the comic that Blade debuted in. Funnily enough, which we actually see
okay, cool.
later on. Actually, this is the one good thing that came out of this film, which was not actually in the film. It was just kind of something
Easter
that was
egg,
drawn to
yeah.
my attention. Is that I just got really interested in the Marvel version of Dracula for an afternoon, and I found out he was actually a pretty major character in the Marvel universe, and especially in the 70s. Which was like, oh, that's fascinating. You could actually probably do like a Marvel's Dracula and then team him up with Blade or something. But all the interesting stuff I read about did not seem to manifest in this film. Let's just put it that way.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
just
what
seeing
they
the
were.
flicker that Fringy was talking about. I already forgot about that. That's even worse than I remember.
I just thought it was really bad. Like it really struck me as like it's clearly not diegetic, and it would have been better if it was like it was an actual light that they used on set that was flickering and turning off and on rather than actually just cutting to a black screen.
Yeah, it's like
It just felt so lazy.
Yeah, it was
Like,
pretty-
oh, this is spooky, right? No, it's not. It's just cringe.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
think
do
this
it.
is when a person who doesn't direct a lot of movies decides to get really stylistic, and it's like you're not ready, man.
Well, everybody wanted to be really stylistic after The Matrix. So
Yeah.
that's what happened.
So then we get introduced to the whole shtick that, hey, the public, they're actually kind of aware, like some of them are aware of vampires. But even more important, because that was like a thing before, like there was some people who were like, there's vampires, and they were like, oh, you're crazy. But here they're aware of Blade, like specifically. They're like, hey, this is like the psycho that's going around and kills thousands of people every week or something. So he's a bit evil. So they're doing the whole like, oh, he's actually the hero, but everyone thinks he's evil because he all they see is him killing people all the time. And I guess the only reason he hasn't been caught specifically is that, well, he's been killing vampires and they turn into dust, and that leaves not really any evidence.
I mean, he flat out gives a number of human
He
familiars
does.
that he's killed in this movie.
I didn't
It's
write it
just
down.
like, well,
but
I
it's like
mean,
4,000 or something.
why was
I
that?
don't know.
Like, I was just like, so why is the one at the beginning of the movie a problem, man? Apparently, you do this all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean,
Excuse
no,
me,
you're right.
Because we need that award-winning dialogue as Whistler and Blade talk about their relationship.
Oh
Oh,
God.
you're like a son to me, Blade. You're being reckless.
Yeah. I'm
Blade,
sorry I grew old on you, and then he dies.
He flat out literally says,
they brought
"I'm
me
sorry I
back
grew
last
old
film,
on
and I'm
you."
gonna fucking die again.
It's funny how
What?
they do
Then-
it's funny how they do the opposite of the second one, where they just bring him back, and here they just kill him off in the first 20 minutes.
I mean, but like, I'm sorry. Why is Whistler the stupidest person in the world in this film? Because what does he not tell Blade about? In the scene where
all the sleeper cells, they've
Yeah!
been that have
didn't
been
they
around
mention
forever.
that in the speech? The speech where he's like, "I see you alone, Blade, surrounded by enemies, and it breaks my heart."
Well,
Anyways,
to
I
be
have all
fair,
these sleeper cells of Night Stalkers that'll activate if anything happens to me. So you'll get a new Whistler. Don't worry. In fact, there's literally a new Whistler. My daughter's one of them. Anyways,
Well,
I'm gonna
to be
die.
fair,
in this
blower.
scene.
she didn't exist until just now. So
Oh, right.
you
Okay.
couldn't tell her.
No, but he knew. He clearly, like, he was involved in the Night Stalkers. It's not like he didn't know what they were. You know?
I don't know. The writers didn't until now. It seems
no,
like.
but Jessica Biel says in the
I am
movie, she's
making
like,
a joke.
I was about to say.
I'm sorry. I thought you were arguing with my point a bit.
I know.
It happens to the best of us.
No, but I mean, it's crazy the fact that they flat out have her say, "I tracked down my father and he put me in touch with this vampire hunting network," and Whistler just doesn't tell Blade.
Yeah.
They
Turns
just
out Blade
find
was a side project the whole time.
But it's even
Could you
worse
imagine?
because the other ones say, hey, if one of them goes down, another one activates. So they're saying there's even more than only this group.
Yeah. Why would Whistler ever keep that from Blade? I can't think of a single reason why that would ever happen.
Well, he's old. Have you thought
Okay.
about that, man? With your
No.
brain, man?
Man.
Sorry. Didn't mean to get out of control there.
But yeah, they talk about that shit for like 3 minutes on the telly. And it's like, crazy. Then explosions, Blade, action scene, woo. And everyone is like, fuck yeah, finally, Blade action scenes. And then it's really lame and shit. It's like a whole warehouse or something that explodes, and he just shoots one down. I don't know, what does even happen? I think he kicks one.
He blows up the
Computers
entire
explode.
building, killing a bunch of cops. Like, I don't know what they were going for with that. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I guess you want to get rid of the evidence, but it's also gonna have Whistler just have the thing like
I think Matt was
delete
talking
itself.
about one in the intro scene, right, where he's fighting these randos.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were at the warehouse already.
No.
No, that's like half an hour later.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
This
I feel like the opening scene of the movie.
This also again reminded me of like, damn, I feel like a lot of movies try to do this as well. Of like, let's have something cool happen while we've got like New Line Cinema presents, like popping up on the screen in the middle of it with these weird effects like this. I don't know why, but like the text, isn't that like the X-Men, like the text that they use for the X-Men, the first one?
I have no idea.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know. Like, there's something about the whole thing that just comes across as like really off. It's so like of its time in a bad way.
In a bad way.
Like when you see the
Well, the thing-
Spider-Man font used in the PlayStation 3 stuff.
No, I don't mind that. It's okay.
I thought it's very of its time though. Like the second you see that font, you instantly know you're talking about the early 2000s to mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's a default setting in a lot of editing programs now. Just that early 2000s opening credits style. Just default.
But yeah, the big difference, obviously.
Madam Web had it too.
Okay, Jesus, don't scare me like that. It's like Madam Web had it too. Don't just throw what Madam Web at me randomly. That's just have PTSD.
Madam Web's not real. It can't hurt you.
That's a really funny.
You know,
movie,
you never know when Madam Web's gonna pop out of nowhere and Madam everywhere.
She's webbing. But yeah, the other ones, you had like all the snappy action, like wide shots, you could see what's going on. Here, like very frantic editing, like cuts everywhere. He does like a front flip that's very clearly on like wires. Like it's like this thing where you can just tell immediately. And then he shoots the car and explodes. One guy runs at him, he kicks him once, and then he shoots the other ones. No, he doesn't shoot them. He has like this knife on a wire that he
it's like a scorpion rope dart.
Which he doesn't use again.
He doesn't, does he?
No.
That's funny. And yeah, then he just runs around. I think this is just where he just jumps on the car. He jumps on I think on Whistler's truck, right? Yeah. And then we just have a chase sequence with a car. And it's I don't know. I would like to tell everybody more about this, but this is all he just drives for like 1.5 minutes. He goes like, "Yeah, I'm driving." Yeah.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's nothing particularly dynamic about it as a fight scene. It's not like there's anything. The most interesting thing is that he has like UV lights in the car, but I don't even know that like that makes much sense at all. Like, I feel like if that got blasted, you'd be able to just hide behind your seat.
Yeah.
You know.
There's also something really stupid. So his windshield is pretty clearly bulletproof, but then he shoots the vampire outside through his windshield from the inside, and then right after he gets shot at the windshield and windshield stops the bullets, he just shot through. So I found that was very cool.
It's like Smilo Ren's helmet in the Force. He can use the Force to see out of it, but you can't use the Force to look into it.
That helmet was
With
weird.
bullets.
I know this is like
Rags
a
made a
tangent.
good point in the recording that Rags made an observation. It's like, yes, because the Force is basically contained like in your head. Is it like the idea that a helmet would block the Force when the Force is meant to be like through everything? It's not like Magneto. It shouldn't even work. Why would putting it on your head prevent somebody from being able to detect you when the Force would also be beyond your head?
Yeah, it also doesn't work
Through
all
your
the
body.
time because when May has it on, or who's he with at the time?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Osha. When she has
It
it on,
doesn't matter,
it
they're
like
both the
gets
same, they're both
concentrated
shit.
and she gets stronger, and he gets like possessed immediately. So that doesn't work properly, apparently.
Midichlorians are mentioned in the show, and it's like the Force is literally explained as communication between cellular organisms.
I can't believe they actually wrote that shit that Osha choked Soul to death. I can't believe that.
Yeah, that was
That's
wild.
That is unbelievable. And then it's meant to be like, oh, look, they're reunited. How sad is this? As if anybody ought to care.
Yeah. I just feel bad for Torben. Torben? Was that his name?
Yeah, Torben, I think that was something that, one of the many writing fuck-ups.
He fucking killed himself because he wanted to go home.
Torben did nothing wrong. He was absolutely the victim of those circumstances, and apparently he thought that he was responsible for it.
He gets to the fucking place, and after 7 weeks, they finally tell him why they're here. It's just...
Yeah.
He was also put in a pocket dimension by a witch and got a talking to. Which she did not do to Soul to explain that she was trying to let Osha go. By the way, she has the ability to put you in a pocket dimension.
But the thing is that what she said doesn't even address what Leslie Headland confirmed, which is that apparently that spooky ghost thing was meant to be converting both of them into the Force, which, I mean, that means death as far as we've ever seen in the Star Wars world. Like, that means you're dead. So, that show is so incompetently written. It's almost like unbelievable. It's one of the worst. It's definitely one of the worst of the Disney Star Wars projects.
It's funny because I didn't really fully pay attention to the series. I mostly just had it on the side, so I'm just up to date to what's going on. And even just listening to it on the side was like, wow, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. And then sometimes I look at it, it's like, oh, that's stupid and everything.
I mean, the fundamental premise of the show, it's like it's a show that has to. They wanted a Sith, but they obviously couldn't have one without contradicting Phantom Menace. And so they figured, oh, wouldn't it be really clever if we wrote the story in such a way that all of the stuff that the Sith did ends up getting blamed on Soul? And then you go, well, how is that even going to work? Like, how is it that, like, there's no way that can actually be the story that you can spin, because so much of what we've seen directly contradicts that with witnesses.
Yeah.
And like material evidence, and you know, whether or not Soul was even able to go to these locations at these times to do these things. And then the fact that he couldn't tell them that there was a Sith because his ship just stopped working in terms of its communications twice.
Why did Basil destroy the ship? I still don't get that.
I have no idea.
It's so funny because I saw that, I stopped the episode.
They don't address it.
And messaged Mauler. It's like, did I miss something? Did I like skip an episode by accident? Why did he just destroy everything? It's like, I don't know.
No, he just did it because he felt like it. It's
like, I mean, so is he just a wild beaver? Is he not a sentient being?
No, he's a fella. He helped them.
That's
then
what I
in
thought.
that moment, he decided to hinder them for some reason. Like, I guess because he wanted to stop him from. No, I don't know.
They were navigating an asteroid belt, though. That is not the time you destroy the ship for memes.
Yeah, I guess he knew that they would survive that shit.
How?
I just imagined him sitting in his quarters, like, dude, it would be hilarious if we just rip out all the wiring and just goes and does it. It's like, oh, that was a bad timing, huh? Oh, whoops, sorry. And Soul never addresses it to him. Like, when they crash or land finally, it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna leave and let Basil hear.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us have Basil talk, but he was gonna just look up and say, I'm trying to bypass the compressor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking with even, like, the central, I don't know, theme of that show, whatever it's supposed to be. Like, I can't believe their arguments, like, their arguments between Jedi and Sith ideology were completely pathetic.
No.
Like, it's such an incompetently written show. Like, it's goddamn, it's terrible.
Yeah. Go watch the lads.
I was gone for like 30 seconds, and now we're in Acolyte land.
Yeah,
but we're out of it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a black hole of shittiness.
That's pretty bad, yeah. Turned into a demon, is surprised he got stabbed with a lightsaber. What a fucking dumb cunt. Anyway, let's move on. I would have let her go. It's like, yeah, fuck, I don't care. You look like you were about to devour the planet.
And that's confirmed by Leslie Headland. She was gonna convert them into the Force, which means death. So, And that's like the main thing. And then I like how it doesn't even address the fact that all of the witches possessed Kilnaka and made him try to kill his friends. Like that was insane.
Yeah.
That was actually I can't believe. And you're meant to be like, ah, yeah, the Jedi really screwed up here, didn't they?
Yep.
And it's like the worst move ever, because apparently when they all join with the power of many to possess a Wookiee, if you choke that Wookiee out, you kill them all instantly.
Yeah, what a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, like it's like team wipe mechanic built into your power of many. It's not a good power.
Yeah. Talking about not a good power, Blade Trinity? I don't know, that was awful.
And there's a team in this too.
I was waiting for a thing. It was like, I need a segue somewhere. It's like, oh, none of this works.
That's why I'm here.
Yay. Anyway, yeah, Blade does like the car chase thing. And it's kind of funny because I kind of talked about it in the other ones where like things happen with Blade, but no one really reacts to it. Well, apparently people have kind of been reacting, so people get more a little more aware about Blade, but not fully. I guess like the police or the FBI is kind of trying to get him. But now we finally see the great big plan of the vampire peeps. Because the last guy, somehow Blade didn't kill the one guy who's not a vampire yet. And they were all banking on all the 7 of those vampires that were in the scene. They were banking on him not killing the familiar up until the end, so they can film him from upstairs and
yeah, so like
blackmail
the inciting
him.
incident of the film is stupid.
Yeah,
Doesn't even make any sense.
it's really, really stupid. And
also, like, how does it even address all of the carnage that led up to that, all of the bullets that went flying, and that he has vampire teeth on him for some reason in his hand?
Yeah, he could have easily been the first one to get killed, and then nothing of this would have worked. But yeah.
And also, how did they explain the piles of ash? Like, you know, that are just randomly strewn out across the streets.
Pollution. Air pollution. New York.
It was very nice of the dying guy to explain the evil plan to Blade right before, so that he could then try to, you know, account for it.
We got you. But yeah, he dies anyway. So yeah, another bad familiar dead. So what I find interesting now, though, I feel like we have two. I feel like they mixed up 2 of the plot lines. I feel like they had 2 ideas and just did both of them. Because we very soon, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Very soon we have the whole things with Dracula. It's like, why did you awaken me? And they basically say, well, we want you to kill Blade. But they already started framing him and basically almost got him at the end. Not at the end, like he gets taken in by the police and they basically got him. Like their work was done. The only reason they didn't get the work done is because of this Night Stalker thing that just activates right after, so he gets saved. So I don't even know what they needed the guy for. They almost got him. I don't know why they went and got him, did the plan, and then after this, like, you failed, huh? Well, guess I have to do it myself. It's like, what, huh? Because he's clearly not part of the plan, because she looks at the footage now, and then we see that the Drake guy, he's still like in his Wumbo phase where he's still feeding on like 18 buddies because he's so thirsty, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense from like the way it all mashes out. It's a really bad movie.
And they give like a second explanation for why they wanted Dracula as well later, because he's just like, I am unique, and they awakened me because they thought they could become daywalkers through me. Look at me, Blade. I have a big dick.
Also, like in Blade 1, didn't he say the police had, like, the vampires own the police? So
Yes.
It's weird that they are now working against each other? Because, like, if I was a big vampire society, I would own the FBI. Right?
Yes. Wait, but the 2 guys he's getting talked to by, aren't they with the vampire guys?
No.
There are at least 2 familiars in there.
Maybe
The
it's 2
psychologist and the chief were.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the ones I was thinking of then. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, it's all very silly and stupid. Anyway, Blade tells Whistler, it's like, hey, this blade you made, pretty cool. I'm never gonna use it again though.
Yeah.
They also, I don't even know why, they introduce a new method for him to take his serum,
The inhaler.
but
yeah.
it doesn't even really change anything. I don't know.
I guess
Well,
because
it goes up like once or twice in the whole film, right?
Well, it gets introduced in the beginning. It's like, hey, you just need to inhale this, and then later on he gets to use it once. He gets it thrown to, but it doesn't look like
I
it's
guess
faster or anything than the syringe.
injection. Well, the thing is, though, I guess it would be easier to do in
Yeah,
combat without
yeah.
impeding yourself to just like throw an inhaler in that you don't even need to hold on to and breathe. So I guess the idea is like, look, you can get a boost mid fight without having to like find a vein.
Yeah. Also, look at this Prime Windows XP. I don't know. I just get a chuckle out of that stuff. Look at
Oh, that comes into one of my criticisms later that makes no sense to me. But we'll
Wait,
get to it.
that's not Windows XP, is it? That's Windows. That don't look like Windows XP.
I think that's Windows XP.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
that's
Why-
Windows
XP
why
XP.
is
makes
the-
sense.
the
Look at the
task-
start
it's not-
bar.
It's not green.
Is it not?
Was it green? Was SP green? I thought it was like blue.
It was always blue.
Windows,
What year
Windows
was this?
XP, no, Windows XP had the green start button and the blue.
I mean, that looks
like top
green to
bar.
me. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
No. The whole thing was green, like the whole
Oh.
button, not just the icon.
Was it?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
now I need to
this-
It's been a
check.
while
This,
since I've used Windows XP. I couldn't
Yeah,
tell you.
this does not look. This looks. This does not look
XP.
like Windows.
Oh yeah,
XP.
I see what you mean now. This is. I
Oh,
think
the full
it's-
start
I think-
button is green. Oh, yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
this
doesn't
says
look like
home.
Yeah.
This might be like a weird
Yeah.
skin of Windows XP because I don't know, right?
Unless it was
Yeah,
a different
that does
skin for
happen.
Windows XP that you could like, because I was just using the default. I don't know. It just doesn't look like Windows XP actually to me at all.
BenQ
Yeah.
paid up though.
Damn, now I want to know what that is.
Thank you.
It's probably fake Windows for
Yeah,
like
that'd be
rights
my
reasons.
guess.
Findos.
Findos. It's definitely not Vista. It's like Windows
Definitely not.
ME.
They went out of their
was
way to
wondering.
avoid advertising Windows in this movie, and we ended up talking about Windows for 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, because I had a lot of Apple stuff in this one.
Yes, and BenQ.
Weird. Hey, if anyone out there knows what
Yeah, they
OS that is, my IT brain wants to know because I'm curious now.
You heard it here first. Bounty for this user interface. $100 directly from Metal's bank account.
Hey,
I'll
wait a
make
second.
sure he.
No.
I have a copy of Ghost Runner 2 I could give away, I suppose.
Nah, it's $100. Might be
has,
1,000 if you're fast enough.
has it been mentioned how Wesley Snipes hated Ryan Reynolds and the director so much he would only talk via post-it notes signed Blade? Not yet, but I did hear about this. I probably would have mentioned it at some point. Wesley Snipes did not want to be there like at all. It's kind of cringe.
Yeah, I think it kind of shows in Ryan Reynolds' jokes. They seem extremely out of place. Like, he's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, so from what I've read, and I would have gotten there when we got to the scenes, Wesley Snipes basically was not reacting to anything that Ryan Reynolds was saying. So he's just kind of throwing shit at him to get like anything out of the scenes.
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it feels like.
This is why this feels like a proto Deadpool character, by the way. That's very reminiscent of a Deadpool kind of dealio.
What if Van Wilder did fighting?
But yeah, Whistler has like this whole thing. It's like, oh, you're gonna be I don't know. We said it already. I'm growing old for you. Blah blah blah. All these enemies and you're all alone. That makes me sad.
You're like a son to me, Blade.
And yeah, as it's already been mentioned, it's like, oh, good job, Blade. You're famous, is what Whistler says, and it's like, don't worry about it. It's like, well, maybe I don't know. You probably should be worrying about this. This seems kind of, bad for you to be found out. But they really don't give a shit. and obviously they're gonna get wrecked by the cops here in a second. Then we get the scene with the lady vampire who's like, what's up, Dracula? It's like, what do you want? Why did you wake me? I didn't want to be woken up. And I was like, well, shut up. That's it. It's like,
I guess like the obvious response would be like, okay, but we didn't know that. For all we knew, you were trapped down there.
Yeah, we get an explanation later that apparently Dracula doesn't even want it to be like awakened. He wanted to just sleep forever because he was so disgusted with the outside world. Okay, so by the way, the whole Dracula look here. So you might remember the Reapers, right? And the way their jaws split and everything. So
yep.
The whole thing with the Reapers was that they were genetically engineered by the vampire Lord Man to be the way they are, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it was an accident. It was a deformation, an abnormality, an aberration. That's the word I was looking for.
So why the fuck does Dracula have the look with the splitting jaw as well?
Well, because they had immunities, so maybe as you start stacking immunities to vampire things, you get those jaws.
Oh my god, you just get Dracula. They just go full circle.
You get a split mandible.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they give an explanation for his shape-changing abilities at one point, and it doesn't really line up with what we actually see, because their explanation is, oh, he's like a snake. He has a bunch of tiny little bones that move around at will, and it changes his shape. And it's just like, well, how does his skin change? How does he grow new hair? How does those are not bones, sir.
Like glasses on? I think doesn't he have
I don't think that's how
glasses on
snakes work.
Probably not. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Snake's just like a long spine.
But yeah, I just wonder if that should even be the case, that he has like the split jaw thing going on. I think that just shouldn't be the case if that was like a deformity from the genetic experimentation, and he's like the prime example of everything that has been vampires.
Yeah. If anything, you should go for a more classical look with Dracula, surely, because like he would be like, if you're going for more of the OG, like, you know, make him more like an elegant. Also, I just remembered, this is a criticism I thought of like halfway through, of like, because they explain that Dracula was the first vampire in this universe, for whatever reason, and it's like, oh, that's kind of funky, but okay. And then I remember, oh, wait a minute, what was that blood god then from the first film? And where does he fit in if Dracula was the first thing? What the fuck?
He was just Wumbo vampire, man. He wasn't even a real Dracula or something.
The blood god's totally different. I don't know.
We could have just had another nice action movie, but we get this. It's just sad.
Should have just fought Frankenstein's monster.
That would have been a twist.
Yeah.
Man, he's basically like, oh, so you've woken me up to kill this Blade Man. It's like, yeah, but what if I don't wanna? That's basically his thing. But then he does, because I actually don't know why he changes his mind.
Yeah, we don't really get anything on that.
It's just,
well, yeah, he's a crap villain.
Yeah.
It's a crap one. I don't really understand what the idea was behind him. Just the whole idea feels like a fucking like mismatch, you know.
And yeah,
well, someone named Dracula and didn't want anything to do with Dracula. It feels like.
Well, he is in vampire headquarters. Whistler gets some newspapers. It's like, good job, Blade. You're famous. It's like, ugh, whatever. Stop being so old. Ugh.
Ugh. Gross. Old people are gross.
And it's like, yeah, so he already says, like,
Hey.
we have to worry about vampires and the world, so we need some friends, and you're all alone, you little loser, Blade.
Gonna cry?
Gonna cry? Maybe.
Maybe.
But before we get the absolute wreckage of everything, there's so many scenes that they're just way too long. So we see just teenagers loitering around, basically. One of them just kind of screeching like a fucking Mongo. He's like, yeah, I want to eat someone finally. Well, there's like 20, 30 people just walking around and just pointing.
Yeah, none
like,
of these people here apparently.
how about I eat this fat guy? And it's like, no, his blood tastes like Cheetos or something.
This is so fucking stupid.
That's actually something they say. I did
I
not
know.
make this up. I'm just making that clear to Chad. And
I just really wanted to eat a baby.
So yeah, remember how in the other movies, like, we just been living in decency, out of sight, out of mind of the humans, and then we have these teenager vampires go like, how about we eat someone finally? While we go around and wreck the place and skate or something.
It honestly sounds like delinquent teenager dialogue written by someone who has never been to a city.
Yeah.
Like, you've never heard teenagers speak. Like, it's not that this is insane, the way they're talking, how loudly they're talking, and the fact that no one around them seems to be reacting to what they're saying.
Yeah, and the guy has like this scarf with the skull on it and puts it over his head. It's like, yeah, we gonna get him.
Now we're in Modern Warfare 2.
It really smells like
this predates that.
This is what I think edgy teenagers are like. So we have one with a BMX, we have one with a beanie, and then we have one that skates. And they just like, oh man, this sucks, dude. I'm going to eat a baby now. And then they go and try that. It's really bad.
How do you do, fellow hoodlums?
Very hoodlums.
Yeah.
Oh god. But yeah, obviously this is like a trap because she's one of the night stalkers.
Real quick,
yes.
Actually, you would think vampires wouldn't turn teenagers for like this similar reason. I mean, obviously not this bad, but like, why would you turn a teenager?
I mean, I guess you mature, but because wouldn't you? I mean, you're like, time's still passing. You can still learn, right? Your just body isn't changing. That was the thing with what's it called? Kirsten Dunst in Interview with a Vampire. She was like, shit, like I'm an adult woman at this point and I'm stuck in the body of a 10-year-old.
I don't know if that's what would happen, since you go through like actual physical changes that help maturity.
I don't know.
So yeah,
Emperism's a pretty big physical change. Sorry, go.
So she's just pretending to be like on her own. It's kind of dumb as well because apparently the station was like very busy, but she went to the place that is like not busy at all apparently. And yeah, they start beating her up, but it's all a ruse. It's a fake baby, and it has written "fuck you" on it because swearing is funny. And then it spits garlic in their face.
And then you find out, oh my god, it's Jessica Biel in the first of several kind of like films that she was a part of that failed. Or not well received. Dude, her career is like so bizarre. Like she was in a lot of movies that were just not good in the 2000s, because there was Stealth. Do you guys remember Stealth?
Yep. Actually, I've never heard of that.
Never heard of it.
Jamie Foxx.
It was one of the more prominent
Stealth
flops. It's a very expensive film and it failed big time. Next with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Oh, I remember that one.
She was in
the
the Total Recall.
Yeah,
remake.
Total Recall remake.
And the A-Team remake. Yeah. She was just in a lot of movies, but they were generally bad and generally didn't do very well.
It's funny, when we're going through that list, I was like, I think I heard of them, kinda, but I've never seen them, to basically all of those.
Yeah, no, most people didn't.
Yeah.
It's just, very much, like, in that era, she was just in a lot of... I don't know if it was that she made bad choices. Like, I don't know. I don't know. She was in a lot of bad movies.
Apparently she was also in BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting because like she was actually pretty willing to make fun of herself in that. Like there were a lot of jokes about how her career wasn't very impressive. And she seemed like a good sport.
Well,
but
I
her
mean,
career
she's
was not very impressive.
She's in an okay situation now. She's married to Justin Timberlake, so I don't think she needs to worry about getting work.
Stuff now, so
Sorry?
I think she like is she works like she executive produces her own projects now, so yeah.
Huh.
So maybe
She
it's
was-
it's gotten better in the tail end, but definitely in this era, she was just in a lot of movies that did not succeed.
Yeah.
She
Needs
also
a better
voiced
agent.
herself in Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, the Scooby-Doo show from 2021 that was all about guest stars.
Oh, I
Huh.
didn't
So
know that
she's-
existed.
Yeah, they do a
Oh,
new
my-
Scooby-Doo show like every 3 years. So it's like they revived the guest format from the 70s. I think Kevin Conroy voiced Batman in that one. So that was that's one to track down, I guess.
There
for
was a
that.
Scooby-Doo show from the last couple years that wasn't Velma.
Yeah. Oh, well, you see, there's a Scooby-Doo show every few years. Like
I
that's
was
a
about to
franchise that
say,
will never
yeah.
fucking die.
I think
Yeah.
there's always some kind of project or like animated film.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Yeah. Before Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, it was Be Cool Scooby-Doo, and before that it was Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, and before that it was Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue, and before that
Wow.
it was What's New Scooby-Doo, and then before that it was a pup
Somebody stop
named
him.
Scooby-Doo. Oh, there was actually quite a big gap in between those ones, but you know, there's a lot of Scooby-Doo to go around, and they always do those direct-to-DVD movies in between as well, so you will never have a shortage of Dooby Scoo.
I have no inclination as to whether all the titles he just said were made up or real. Like the
I'm
coin
pretty sure
has
I've heard
landed on its side.
I've heard of some of them at least.
Oh god. Anyway, yeah, Jessica Biel is in this one, and the whole fighting is just all. I think there's like legitimately a cut after every punch and every action
Yeah.
that's been taken. It's quite nauseating to watch.
Well, it's just, like just Wesley Snipes can do the fights, like he can do all of the crazy stuff and do it well compared to just getting, I don't know, like she probably just wasn't very good at the fights, so they had to cover it up with
Well, at least
shaky cam and cuts.
if at least we would have had those fights with Wesley Snipes, that would have been nice. But those are all
That-
kind of
yeah,
crap as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't have his
Well-
heart in this one. You can
Well,
really
there's
tell.
also just that even if you do really good choreography, it can be butchered and ruined in the edit.
Yeah,
Oh,
edit,
yes.
cinematography, lighting, like kind of nothing was good for most of these fight scenes.
Yeah. So also, apparently the Night Stalkers have like some crazy technology, because if you see on screen right now, she has like this bow-looking thing that has like UV lights
Which
that go.
is not her bow.
No, it's not a bow.
It's not
a
It just
bow,
looks
no.
like one.
She
It looks like
also
one, but
has
it's
a
not like
bow,
a
though.
bow. Yeah, very confusing, really
And-
weird.
According to the movie, it's half as hot as the sun, which I
Now,
think
that could
leads to
mean-
problems.
Nice.
That could mean two different things. It could be half as hot as the surface of the sun, which
Mhm.
wouldn't be as big of a deal, or it could be half as hot as the core of the sun, in which case very
Uh-oh.
bad things will happen as soon as it's activated.
It reminds me of the
Yes.
conversation we had during Justice League?
Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut.
Yeah, Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Like the
there's,
Kurtz's art clip and everything.
Sun things and that leads like to nuclear explosion kind of dealios or something. Something really bad happens for sure. Yeah.
It's the idea that if
Yeah.
you just instantly teleport a bit of the sun into the world, there's a big old chemical reaction,
Yeah.
or physical reaction that's going to be happening there. You would not-
Boom!
It's still just wild to me. That's like, why didn't they think of the concept that just her bowstring can activate with like a UV?
And if
Like,
that's the
I don't
case,
know.
why isn't it just a lightsaber? You
Yeah.
know? I don't know.
Well, I mean, this one kind of just is. It's just like basically
goofy
a
looking
laser version of a
lightsaber, though.
Klingon weapon.
It's a batleth made of light, basically. It's a batleth made of light.
I would probably prefer just a sword with that looks like a lightsaber, basically. Yeah. I don't know why I went the long
Yeah.
way to
I
explain
guess
this.
it's like the sword from No More Heroes. It's like a lightsaber,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it has an endpoint too that's fixed, which honestly makes a lot more sense than lightsabers.
Right. But yeah, that's that. But we got introduced to her. She has like a quick, agile fighting style, something. Yeah, there you go.
So like, I don't know. This is a weird thing, right? So in this one, they can't decide if like humans are as strong as vampires or vampires are stronger because it depends entirely on who they're fighting and why they're fighting them.
Yeah, apparently
just
there's an amount of training you can do as a normal human to be more powerful than like a dozen vampires.
Well, except for that's not they switch if that's true, like later on, right? Because like she can fight these vampires, right? But like, right?
Oh yeah,
we'll
when she
get to
fights
it.
against the lady vampire, she just gets overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Well, I mean, I guess to be fair though, in Blade, isn't the older vampires and the ones that were born a lot more powerful than like what these guys probably are?
I don't.
Hey, don't get me wrong.
know.
I don't want to defend this movie, but it's like I feel like it's only fair to give that explanation because it makes some sense to me that she would be more powerful, but it's still just kind of crazy that it's like all of a sudden there's all these human hunters who are just incredible at fighting vampires, almost like they can go toe to toe with Blade. It's crazy.
They should not be able to. Shouldn't be possible. Like, just power levels doesn't make sense.
I mean, ideally, real quick, she would avoid like hand-to-hand combat, right? And if you are going to do that, you have to do grappling, right? Because
but we see her do hand-to-hand combat. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, this is like as the films go on, like it's very clear that the vampire's super strength and endurance only really kicks in when the writing needs it to kick in, because otherwise they're basically just regular folks with sharp fangs.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So, it's time for an FBI raid. Because they have been following Whistler as well, apparently, and they followed him back here, and now the whole FBI with SWAT and cops and everything, they're just coming in here. And obviously, Whistler just starts mowing them down one by one.
It's really odd. It's really bizarre. I don't know why.
So
I don't know why it was written like that.
They get encircled. They come all in, and you would think what they would want to do. It's like, okay, let's just wipe all these computers and data we have here. Maybe just fry them and then get the fuck out of here. But no, Whistler's just like, boom, boom, shotgun, bam, bam. It's like, gee, I thought you wanted them on your side, preferably, if that's possible.
Or if you have sleeper cells capable of prison breaks, surrender.
Yeah, just surrender and get them back, exactly. And also, he has, like, super massive plot armor until the movie is like, okay, now it's time for you to die. Because he kills probably, like, 10, 15 of these guys, I would guess. I didn't count them, but that's my idea. And then he gets shot in the leg, then he kills a couple of more. And then the last thing. Also, for some reason, he needs to run the protection routine on 3 PCs instead of 1. So that's shit networking, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
Could have solved that problem with a network switch and a couple Ethernet cables.
Exactly.
Don't y'all think it's a bit odd that like Whistler would let this happen twice? Because it happens in the first movie. You would think he'd be extra cautious because these FBI, they don't seem like the most competent people. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, they just get fucking wrecked by them. It seems like, because Blade is just kind of slicing a couple of them and kicks them. His scenes in here are like fucking weird. Like he probably was like, you get 10 minutes. I can flip around a little bit and then you can edit the rest in. I don't care. Because he seems like he's barely in this. Like, we cut to him, he's just kind of surrounded by a couple of them, and then just, I don't know, Whistler dies, and he blows up the whole thing. It's really stupid and bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really lame. You don't want to just...
Lame, stupid, and bad, I think that
again.
covers it. Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when, you know, they go out of their way to bring back a character and, like, you know, bend the rules of the world over backwards to bring them back, and then they kill them off again, like, in the next story. It's like, why did you bother?
Yeah.
Why did you bother bringing them back if you're just gonna kill them again?
Okay, but we get this really funny scene. I'm gonna put this on stream because it's only like 2 seconds long. But I need everyone to see this because it's fantastic. So Blade realizes that Whistler just died it, and then this happens.
No sound, it's great.
I think it's
I don't know why he goes up and down like this as well. It's really funny.
I mean, he had a director.
it's the
Well,
tea
I
bag
think
at the end that
that
really sells it.
Yeah,
you know, you
yeah.
just loop that again, and
Dude, that
you're
shit
playing
was
Halo.
hilarious. That scream.
It's so funny.
Burst out laughing.
Yeah, he's like,
Came out of nowhere.
ah. Then he goes down.
The ceremonial
Squat.
squat of sadness.
The editor had probably had to watch that just like that with no sound so many times. And it was probably funny every time.
Yeah. I do like that the
They just
squad team
recorded him working out.
waits for him to finish his ceremonial scream of or squad of sadness. Sorry, and then he gets surrounded, but then he realizes, I can't do anything. I'm gonna surrender. And yeah, he gets. That was probably the best part of the whole scene because it was really funny.
Yeah, these are the high points.
There are a few funny moments in this film, though not the moments that the writers probably thought were funny.
Yeah. And then he gets interrogated by these FBI's. And actually, hang on, let me get the transcript because they say so much cringe shit. It's actually insane.
It's so bad.
Blade Trinity transcripts. I just want to read this like word for word because it's actually, you know how when you watch like any kind of interrogation video online you've ever seen, or like the whole good cop bad cop thing, it's not too far away from an actual thing they do when they interrogate people, right?
It is a technique,
But
yeah.
the way it normally works, they try to build reports just to like, hey, what's going on? I understand, blah blah blah, shit like this, right? They do none of this. They basically just go like, yeah, vampires, am I right? What a freak loser. Yeah, is there garlic? Like shit like this. And it's like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
Yeah, like it's strange to think that they thought this would be a good idea in a sequence that ends with vampires being in this room.
Yeah.
Like this is a world where it's not only possible, it's happening around you consistently and people are talking about it and you're treating it like it's nothing. Also, I mean, why doesn't Blade just show his fangs?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just like, hey, take a look at my teeth?
Well, they would be like, "Well, you filed them down, man." I don't
Yeah.
know. It's so weird because
Well,
like
they make them. He makes them grow though, right?
does he? I don't think he does.
Doesn't he? Does he always
I
have
don't
his
remember
fangs
that.
out?
I think
what
they
I-
are always out.
Don't they come out when he's hungry and then like, because there are
I feel like they
scenes
get
where he
bigger.
smiles and they're not there from what I remember, but maybe I'm hallucinating.
I don't know, but like
I wish I was
regardless,
hallucinating.
like kind of to build on that same point, like I could understand like normal people not believing it and making fun of the idea, but this is incredibly inappropriate at this time, right? You have
I agree.
possibly a mass murderer, and you are making jokes in front of him.
Yeah. So
This movie was inappropriate in front of me. I'll show you where it touched me on the doll.
yeah, apparently they've been tracking him for a long time as well. He says he's like, and everybody's like, "What is a whistler?" And he immediately goes like, "Dead." Just like all your victims. He's like, "Oh God."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Here's where he gives the number.
Yeah. So he's like, how many
Yeah.
people have you killed? 30, 40, 100? And Blade just says 1,182. It's like, oh,
Which-
you've been counting, I guess. Cool.
Those are not vampires. Those are familiars.
I assume so, yeah.
He says that in a minute.
Yeah, he
that
says, like,
I
those were
think makes
familiars.
him the most prolific serial killer in all of human history.
It's pretty bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like, those were familiars, people who worked for them. And the FBI agent goes like, and by them you mean vampires, right? Suppose next you'll be telling us that Bigfoot's in on the conspiracy too. So it kills these bloodsuckers, tough guy. Maybe you can give us some pointers. And then he counts them like on his finger. You can stake them, right? Then there's sunlight. Oh, what about Crosses Wilson versus the other FBI guy? Do those still work? And he's like, I don't know, Ray. What if a vampire's Jewish? He's like, that's a good point. And does garlic work on a Hindu vampire? Or do you need saffron or something, or saffron? and they just all keep laughing.
And then they have a moment where they're both really proud of that joke. By the way.
Yeah, they're just
Saffron. That was a good one. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, but what you two both need to shut up.
yeah.
I didn't get the Hindu joke.
I don't know, because they like garlic in their food or something. I don't know.
Saffron's a Indian spice.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the whole like, oh, you need to use that instead of garlic. I'm just like, I don't get this joke.
Well, I mean, I get it. It's just like it's a 2 out of 10. Like it's not very funny. And but like I think what's worse though is they take the second to comment on what a good joke it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, do you guys? Someone wrote this in real life.
Yeah.
Definitely horrible interrogation tactics. But then the Dr. Vance is coming in, who's clearly definitely a familiar, of course, and he's like cringe and annoying. Like, does the blood sucking give you like sexual lust or something? Like, he says shit like this.
How is your relationship with your mother?
He's like, he's cringe and annoying, and then like he just dies off screen. Like,
oh yeah, that's true.
like, I don't even understand why he's in the movie.
He's a bad stereotype of a stereotypical psychologist.
Yeah, let's see. What does he say here? I'm with the Department of Mental and Health. I've been charged with conducting psychiatric evaluation, blah, blah, blah. He sends out the guys. I'm trying to find the things he says because it's like really weird. It's very frightening for you, but I want you to know that I'm here to help. In order to do that, I have to ask some questions. Now, can you tell me what day it is? I mean, Blade doesn't say anything. What about the president? Do you know who's in the White House at the moment? And Blade says, an asshole. Which, like, I don't know, this could be funny in context, I guess. Let's talk about vampires then, okay? What can you tell me about them? And then there's nothing to tell. They exist. That's what Blade says. I'm like, are you one of them? Blah, blah, blah. And then he gets, like, closer to him. Oh, yeah, I just saw it here on screen. Like, he does like this. Let's talk about vampires.
Super
like
professional, yeah.
It's like, what are
you doing?
Like, you work for a vampire. Why are you doing so much cringe? I don't even understand what his goal is here by being so weird and annoying. Like, this must be weird to the FBI agents as well. It's like, what is this fucker doing?
This is the guy who published the book, right? Like,
Yeah.
Why did we get him in again?
But yeah, then he says it. What about blood? When you drink it, do you find yourself sexually aroused? You see, it strikes me that this business of vampirism has strong connotations of sexual confusion, bodily fluids being exchanged, that sort of thing. You have to ask where that comes from. I'm wondering, for instance, what your relationship was like with your mother. Were the two of you close? At this point I was like, I don't even know the fuck you're talking about anymore. You're just a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
You probably bought your doctor title on Temu or something.
It's just a bad monologue being written by a guy who's only like Wikipedia'd a bit of pop psychology.
But
he
yeah,
got as far as Freud.
Yep. Basically just bad Freud.
Anyway, then the chief comes in, I think, and it's like, well, this is my jurisdiction now. We're taking over. Get out of here. You're fired, basically. You're not in charge anymore. Which basically means the vampires are now here. So obviously Triple H and all the other guys are coming in. What are their names? Asher, Danisa? I don't.
I think it's Danica.
Danica. I forgot if we actually hear her name in the movie.
We do. In a very awkward scene.
But yeah, she's like, we're here to get him to the hospital, so let's get out of here. And then Vance puts like amnestics in him, which is like way too much. And then Blade is like, oh, I'm so amnesticized. That's a word I probably just made up.
No, that's weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a word.
I legit didn't know. I just went with my brain and thought this might be funny, but apparently it's a word. Well, there you go.
My brain can't be trusted.
It can't be trusted. I don't know what's real anymore. I don't even know if vampires are real anymore.
I've never seen one. That doesn't mean they aren't real.
And then Blade realizes familiar. He's been one for 5 years, he says. And blah, blah, blah. they about to get him out there, but the rescue squad is here. Woohoo! And I think it's King and the lady is here. I'm just remembering if there was any other cringe that's worth mentioning in between. Because, again, this is like a pretty long-ish scene that seems like unnecessary to be that long. Or is that just me? I guess it could be this long if it would be funny or witty and interesting, but it's just cringe and annoying, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think what was distracting to me is that they had an idea with, Blade being taken in by the police, and then they do fuck all with it. It's just all it's a bunch of cringe, and then he gets broken out, and then we just don't go back to that plot line at all.
Yeah, that's true. So we do
Never
like the
comes
whole
up.
we don't do the whole thing. It's like, oh no, now it's us against the world and the vampires because the police is nowhere. But we're done with this now. As soon as we get out
the police
of here,
disappear until the very end of the movie, and it's after everything is over that they show up.
so we're done with this. Hooray! Good job. Yeah. So, should I scroll too far down? But yeah, he gets saved by Deadpool. I mean, King, and it's kind of weird because he gets broken. I think he just throws one of them through the window, right? Through the mirror.
Kind of. They explode through the two-way mirror.
I guess they do explode. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Blade.
I guess before the bones are burnt to ash, they can break a window.
Yeah. Anything else? No, I think they just fight their way out. See, it's. I feel like I'm missing things, but there's like really not a lot to talk about in a lot of these scenes. Like,
No.
It's a whole lot of everyone trying to act with Wesley and Wesley not wanting to act.
yeah.
I mean, he almost does not do a whole lot in this entire sequence, though. Like, it's really just two factions having a gun battle and three characters that we're to care about being kind of caught in the middle of it, even though they're both kind of there to stop Blade. Because, like, at a certain point, it's just the people who are pretending to be, like the vampire people who are pretending to be, what were they? Were they cops or were they, like, postal workers or something?
They are a medical team who is transferring him.
Yeah, I remember it being something else other than cops. But yeah, they're shooting at each other, and in a hallway with a T intersection kind of in it, and yeah, it's a very, very dumb action scene where I don't understand how all three of them weren't instantly dead when getting fired on from two sides.
Yeah. Also,
Bitch about something.
I have to assume that Blade was weakened from not having his serum for a while, and that's the only reason the amnestics work, even though he got like way more than any normal person would, because as soon as Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, King, you know what I mean, and puts the new inhaler that replaced the serum now, puts in his mouth, that just gets rid of the amnestics completely, because he's just now back to full power.
Anesthetics, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that would work, but we have to have the action scene.
Yeah.
Because it would still be like circulating in his blood. Because it takes it takes a while to metabolize all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need all this to happen in 5 minutes. So he needs to be knocked out with a crippling poison that does seem to work on him, and woken up and being at full power within a 5-minute period.
Right.
And it's work. I'm just gonna bitch about this because I hate this trope and it's annoying the fuck out of me. I wish people would stop using bows in gunfights. Right? Like
Yes.
bows have a very specific use if you're going to use them in modern warfare, and that is like stealth. I need to shoot someone and make almost no noise.
But
if
you
people are
can-
shooting guns at you, fucking pull out a gun. The bows, put the goddamn bow away.
Yeah, you're in America.
It's always
I
funny
hate
to
it
me,
so
like,
much.
not to go back to Acolyte, but when they got out the bows with the fucking glowy, pointy bits, I was like, Jesus Christ. I just can't. Just stop it. What are we doing?
Get some help.
Get some help. But yeah, Whistler's daughter, I guess she's Whistler now, so whatever. They fight. There's like really lame action going on. They like all cut away. We don't get like a cool hallway scene with Blade or whatever, which would have been really cool, I think. It does like some kicks backwards. They don't even look like they connect properly. It's just such a downgrade from everything that's been Blade 1 and 2. It's just every time anything happens, it's so lame.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a particularly exciting or interesting action scene. Nothing particularly cool happens. If anything, it's like it's kind of hard to make sense of what's happening a lot of the time. Like, who's where and why.
Yeah, and then Blade at some point just goes into the vents and just fucks off because...
Do you think that's because Wesley Snipes didn't want to film that day?
100%.
Like, all right, yeah.
100%.
He jumped into the vent, so where's he going?
I don't even think that's a question. That's definitely what it is. That's like a thing a lot of time. It basically happens every time you see any action scenes. Like, they just try to make it work somehow without him being around at the time or something.
My planet needs me. Zoom!
Shit, forgot my sword. I'm now in the vents.
Have y'all noticed that he uses a lot more guns in this one? Like,
yes,
I think he uses his sword once. When he usually goes to those. Yeah. Because I'm just thinking of 2, and he slices up a lot of people with his sword.
Yeah, because it's cool and looks epic, and
Jojo.
Oh my
here
God.
it's just annoying. Yeah, she just uses her bow with her UV tips or UV light tips. And it's kind of funny because you would expect like, oh, she's setting up that you can shoot around corners for later in the movie. But no, that never happens again.
Nope.
Like, it feels like such a Chekhov's shooting around corners thing. You know what I mean? But it's just, no, that just doesn't happen. But instead...
Well, her jacket... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just instead, later, she just gets like... better or stronger or pulls the thing harder and then she can shoot from multiple. It's nonsense. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say her jacket's funny because like to shoot her bow she has to unzip the sleeves when she could just, and she does this the rest of the movie where she could just not wear sleeves from the get-go.
I don't even know what that would do.
What if she gets a little chilly?
Yeah.
What then?
But yeah, but then a thing happens that feels kind of like a Blade thing, where he just jumps out the window and comes down. It's like, I forgot my sword, which is like, you know what? That seems like a Blade thing to do.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It honestly, it did a better job of explaining why he jumped into the vent than I figured they were going to give me.
Yeah.
But the CG looks really bad.
Yeah, this actually, like, there's something weird about this scene. When he, like, stands up, he's not looking at any of them.
Wait. Oh, you're right.
Oh, I did not notice that.
He just looks past them, yeah. Forgot my blade.
I don't know if they were in the scene or Wesley was just being a dick.
I mean, honestly, even if they just threw stand-ins in there, they could have matched the eye lines. Like,
yeah,
that's like, especially even if they're composites. Like, even if they weren't there, they were just shot on a green screen and added over top. Why not just put them on the other side? Like that would have made it look like he was looking at them. It's like someone fucked up in editing. They forgot to mirror one of them.
Yeah. Also, like, while we're here, like we set up James Remar as like the guy, like the dicky detective guy who's like, oh, vampires are not real, la di la di la. And then we have all of this unambiguous evidence that vampires are very clearly and presently real, like probably either right in front of him or like within range of cameras that would clearly pick it up. And they don't even bother to like really give us much in terms of like, why would you set up a character who's this like dickish and skeptical about vampires and then not pay that off with him suddenly being proven wrong? Like, that feels weird.
Just another thing that they threw in there and don't do anything with, as you already pointed out. So yeah, sad. Anyway, he's getting saved by the Night Stalkers, of course. They get picked up. So they're surrounded by police, and then the one guy comes in. I forgot his name. It's fine. He dies soon, so it doesn't matter. He just kind of crashes through some police cars and is like, "Get in!" and just blasts some music. It's like,
the police don't seem to be interested in stopping it.
Again, I think it is definitely because Wesley Snipes not showing up fucked everything up. so they had to figure it out. It's like, then a guy just shows up after he jumps out the window and they drive away, even though all the cops would just chase them.
Yeah,
because they should. How did they get away? How'd they get away?
They just drive down some stairs and then leave. They get shot at, and that's all the police tries. It's like, no, we're done. There's been a massive shootout in an FBI building, but we're not using any helicopters or anything to track them down in this very obvious thing. We know what's going on. It's all a bunch of nonsense.
The cops were blinded by the majesty of his superhero landing. They couldn't pursue. They were just like, you fucking see that, man? That guy jumped out of a skyscraper.
Yeah. But yeah, Deadpool is actually called Hannibal King in this movie. I don't know if I'm going to call him that because it's not as funny.
If you keep calling him Deadpool, that'll be funnier.
Yeah.
That will be funnier.
We got Whistler's daughter, and then a couple of others who the movie thinks we were going to care about in a second, but I don't. But yeah, they make pretty sure it's like, hey, this is one of many sleeper cells, and if one of them fails, the next one gets activated. Which is like, how many are there? Why are they not here? The world has ended twice almost. Can we? It's we said it already. It's just annoying.
No. Do all the sleeper cells have like a blind woman in charge of the security cameras?
That's really incredible, isn't it?
I mean, if you put it that way, that's actually really fucking funny. Yeah.
I was hoping I wasn't the only one who noticed.
Just couldn't believe what I was seeing later on.
Okay, that's just insensitive.
Don't tell her what she can't
That's just
do.
insensitive that you would say it that way. I can't believe that what I was seeing. You can't just say that to her.
Oh, yeah, that is insensitive. Oh, well.
Like, how come? Why would they think the blind lady can do all the computer stuff? Back in
Haven't you ever seen Daredevil? Gosh.
Oh, true.
Like, I didn't even realize she was blind, but she was literally reading Braille as the security footage was going. She was the only one there.
That's pretty funny, yeah. I don't even know why I didn't realize that. To be honest, after like 45 minutes, I was kind of checked out of the movie. I was watching it, but I was like, I just want this to be over. Like,
she has AI transcribe the security footage into descriptive video written in Braille.
Yeah, back in 2003.
Yeah. Oh, God, no.
Jesus.
Before even Google Translate was a thing, I'm pretty sure.
Anyway, we have like a whole thing where Blade's like, what do you want to help me with? You're like rookies and suck, and you're not as cool and epic as me, so fuck you, basically.
They suck and they're vampire hunters.
Yeah, he tries to do like some Blade one-liners here, but they fucking suck ass. I didn't even write them down this time. Like, there's nothing. It's nothing worthwhile here to talk about again. It's like, I don't know. It's just so sad because Blade is just such a
Blade
cool
line
fucking...
made me chuckle, but it's later.
Like Blade is just such a cool character in the other movies, and he's just so lame and boring. God,
how did you?
He feels like scenery for
all
most
the
of the
life
movie.
out of Blade.
Exactly. Then we have another scene with the vampire. Like, it's like, oh, we had him right there, and then these other came up. It's like, bleh, it sucks. And then Dracula comes out. Oh, I've seen your failure. Brr, brr, brr. But I'm here now. Everything is gonna be great. But yeah. We also learn that Deadpool, was a familiar or vampire even. No, he was a vampire, and he was on the run for 5 years, and then got cured by Whistler, I'm pretty sure, or by just the sleeper cell. I've forgot which one it was, and now he kills them. And I was like, wow, if after he told that story, Blade would have been like, okay, you're cool in my book. Like, I feel like they would have had an instant connection. Right?
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah, you would think that.
You'd think, but Wesley didn't want to do that, so.
No,
That's
he didn't
true.
want to do that line. so too bad.
Because I would feel like they maybe would have still been hesitant. It's like, oh man, you're like a bit cringe. It's like, oh look, I have like this sign that says, oh hello, my name is fuck you. And it's like, oh, that's kind of cringe. But it's like, hey, I respect that. You've been going around, but he fucking saved a lady in the first one because it looked like his mother, or reminded him of his mother or something. And then I wonder what happened to her. She was just gone as well. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be recurring, but yeah, she just disappeared.
But
so,
yeah, I just don't buy Blade being 100% against this guy. It just seems a missed opportunity to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this also raises like, okay, so this has kind of been something that's been building throughout the trilogy as like a potential like bad writing thing where like first film, you know, we introduced the vampire cure, but it's kind of implied that it only works if you're already in the process of turning, or maybe if you're a day walker. But then they established in the second film that no, you can actually cure vampires like 2 years after they're like have been turned, and now we know that it's at least 5. So it's like, well, you know, are we not even going to discuss the idea of like a mass cure, like like or something?
No,
like,
genocide.
You don't even need to
genocide only.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like you there can be a reason you can't do that for sure, but they don't even like bring it up as an option, which is like, why don't you even discuss it? Why? The cure only happens when the plot needs it to.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie is not getting better the more we talk about it.
No,
it's not going to either.
No, it will. It's not gonna. But anyway, we get some info because they already got some. They got some information about the whole thing, and they have like a whole historical museum in their backyard, basically, where they somehow got all the fucking ancient plates and whatever the fucks in their basement. And they found like a small piece of their armor, and they just recreate the full armor set on the fucking computer. And I was like, okay, sure, do that. I guess. The idea is, oh look, we have all these different historical pieces from different time slots in history. And all of them have like this one reoccurring symbol that probably points at the guy being there this whole time. And they basically say, oh, you know what? He was born like 6,000 or 7,000 years ago, cut a bloody path through the ages, and then he just disappeared until the vampires just now found him. And basically he's like, oh man, this world sucks with all these humans and stuff. I'm just gonna go to sleep forever. And was like he never even wanted to be found or wake back up or something. And it's like,
at that point, why not just die?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why didn't you just fucking off yourself or something? Why did you just go into a tomb where someone can randomly stumble upon you, and can you just kill them and just go back to sleep? Because you're clearly stronger than all the ones.
Why did you pick such a big tomb?
Yeah, why did you go into a temple?
Tube.
Just go into someone's backyard and just fucking sleep in there. Something, I don't know.
Go to the middle of the desert, just like dig yourself a hole.
Yeah, actually, this is unraveling the more I think about it, because the implication is that he is like the classical Dracula, which means he was at least around in the 19th century. So he had a giant pyramid fucking built in the 19th century because he didn't want to be found.
Or is it like, does he just keep going back there every so often? He's like, I'm going to skip a couple centuries, see how it pans out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Something funky's going on here.
Yeah. It's just funny just looking at those scenes while you watch the movie where everyone is just talking to Blade and info and just stands there, looks at them, just not reacting to anything. It just does not want to be here at all. It's so stupid.
Oh yeah, Blade doesn't believe Dracula exists. That's right. That was even though there's all that
Which
evidence.
is like, come on, like why Blade?
Oh yeah, I don't think I've shown it on stream yet. So this is the look we're going for with this current Dracula. This is the form.
Oh
he's-
fuck!
Oh my God,
this
the
fucking
music
part,
video.
Oh my god, I laughed so fucking hard.
This
The
is
was a
music
mistake.
video.
So
Yeah, this is David
So-
Gore's music video.
This is
Yeah.
so odd.
This is audition tape for MTV. This was his
Like-
plan to hook up with a pop star
This
someday.
was a this
Oh
whole
my
idea
God,
for
we broke
Dracula
it.
Oh my
was a really bad idea. Like, what is he wearing? What is this shirt?
Oh,
It's a-
there was like one angle where it was like he's almost like against a green screen from a low angle, and it's
Yes.
like
This is like
The
the, most
background's quite
early
fast.
2000s edgy fucking like, oh yeah, what if we made Dracula, but he's cool.
He's a sad
Oh,
boy
this is-
too.
Oh, there it is. There
oh
it
my
is.
god,
Yeah.
Yeah, God, this is the shot.
oh my god,
He looks
the
constipated. He look. He,
This was a really good idea.
he
This
looks.
was a really, really good idea.
He looks constipated here. I don't know. He's
He
like.
does.
oh my god.
He's standing
Oh,
in front
fuck.
of a green screen right now with David Gore being like, "Yeah, you're bored of the world. You don't understand any of it. You don't care. You just want to go back to sleep." And he's like, "What?"
Oh, I just tasted my
so
own
the
lungs.
weird thing here is we cut over to the scene after Deadpool basically says, "Yo, but he's awake, but he's still like pissed, you know, like he doesn't really like this world." And what do you think? How are they gonna show us how pissed he is? Obviously, he goes into a store that sells exclusively Dracula merch.
Yeah, there's a Dracula store, not a Halloween store. Everybody,
Hot topic.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but isn't it like everything in the store though is Dracula stuff?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
vampire
I mean,
stuff.
have do you not have a Dracula store near you?
No. I mean, honestly, I could maybe believe a vampire store, but it seemed like all of that stuff was specifically Dracula merchandise, not
Yeah,
just
no.
general vampire stuff.
Around the place.
I heard you
Dracula
have
store.
vampire merchandise.
So
Mm.
so here's the weird part. This is trying to show the audience like, look how pissed he is. But you know what this conveys to me? Okay, this is not Dracula, of course. I just found this framing funny because he's eating Count Chocula cereal in a Dracula shop. You know,
They sell it. They sell it there. That
Yeah,
that
yeah.
counts as Dracula merch.
So also you have like these goth people in here, and there's like all this thing. So obviously you want to try to say it tells like, look how pissed he is with all these things. But I think the way they portray it here, he looks like more like interested. It's like, wait, you like selling stuff with like meat?
Yeah, do you
and
guys
stuff?
worship me?
Like, it's crazy.
Am I your god?
Am I your god?
Like there is an interesting idea, the idea of Dracula coming back and then seeing what a pop cultural icon he's become. There's an idea there. I wish they did something with it because it kind of looks like they were about to, and then he just goes full retard. But you know, there's an idea there, I guess.
But yeah, he just kind of goes around. It's like, oh look, like we have all these things and trinkets with like my likeness.
This whole film is composed of half-formed ideas.
Pretty
Yes.
much, yeah. It's like the guy on the counter is like annoyed. It's like, yeah, what gave it away, idiot? And the lady's like, look, we have like all these things, like lunch boxes, and we have like Count Fartula, which I don't know, it's kind of funny because I like the farting is funny.
Farting
Oh,
hilarious.
metal.
But then she's like, look, we even have Count Dankula dilduses.
Count Dankula.
I'm just there's just something about the idea that you wake up after like fucking 200 years in cryo sleep, and then you come out, you walk through the street in like a 2000s edgy music video, and then you go into a store and discover that your face has been put onto a dildo, a vibrating dildo, and you have to stare at it, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just like, and it's almost like, why would you? I don't even get. The more I think about that idea, it's just like that sounds like a very uncomfortable idea. Like, what's the point of like putting the face on the dildo, shouldn't it?
I don't know.
I mean, the Edward Cullen dildo does not actually have,
Yeah.
you know, Robert Pattinson's face on it. It's more just like if you put it in the freezer, it stays cold and sparkles.
I feel like if there was a
What?
like a mirrored version of my face at the end of my penis, it
Am I
would make me
awake
very
right now?
uncomfortable.
What's happening? You just talked so casually about this. Can we roll back where we talked
It's in the
about
movie.
this?
Like, I mean, we're analyzing the film, man.
Look, if you actually look back in the chat from 3 weeks ago, I actually put that in the chat when I did the Adam and Eve sponsorship, I'll have you know.
Oh my god.
Good segue for our Adam and Eve sponsorship.
That's
Brought to you by
insane.
Adam and Steve, the new LGBT-friendly Adam and
We're
Eve
gay
store
now.
coming to a corner near you.
Right next to the Dracula store, where you can buy your
Yes.
Dracula, because it's red. It's red.
But yeah, like I
It
mean,
is red.
I don't understand what the purpose of these characters was, what they taught Dracula in this experience.
Nothing.
Like,
He doesn't even seem annoyed with all the things here. He gets annoyed because the fucking cashier is a fucking asshole.
yeah, it's just like there's a dude being a dick to a potential customer for no reason. Because he
Like-
seems interested in the stuff that's in his store.
Also, what is this twig thinking when this muscular fucker comes in? It's like, hey,
know.
he's listening to, he's talking to you. It's like, I'm gonna fucking punch you to death. I don't even need my vampire powers.
Yeah, he might just be a crazy person in the city.
Fucking look at him. He's clearly a crazy person.
Yeah.
The vampire guy,
What?
of course.
I guess, I mean, even if he were not Dracula and not in this film, you might not want to fuck with that guy if you don't know what he's about.
He has like a
Yeah,
massive
no one-
scar on his chest and wears like chains and stuff. Like,
And exposes the scar while wearing a coat.
And
You have to
man
try
cleavage.
for that, man.
he's
Lots of
clearly
man
unstable.
cleavage. Don't forget about the man cleavage. You cannot
Movie is
forget.
so bad. Jeez.
Oh my god. Oh fuck. Imagine like saying like, yeah, we're gonna put Dracula in our film, and it's like, this is what you come up with. This is your idea for Dracula.
Well, just remember now, we've gone through 4 drafts, or like 4 totally different scripts of the MCU Blade movie, and this one was worth shooting to somebody.
Oh my god. Just like fuck it. Like, how do you I don't like this feels like a general trend whenever they want to bring back like Dracula or Frankenstein, they feel like they have to do something super subversive with them, when it's like, you know, we haven't actually had like a super classical version of these characters since like the 30s, dude. You can like go back to that if you want. Like, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, those books are classics for a reason.
Yeah, like it's actually bizarre to me that Bela Lugosi, the guy that we think of as Dracula, only played the character twice and like 20 years apart from each other. It's really actually
crazy.
kind of insane.
Christopher Lee was a good Dracula too.
He was, and he I remember he was a Dracula fanboy. That's actually the kind of that's the thing about his films, is that he really loves Bram Stoker's Dracula, but they kept giving him like progressively worse scripts, and he kept saying yes to them because they kept guilt tripping him. It was just like, oh, Christopher, you know, if you say no to this, like we've already building the sets, oh, look at all the people you're going to put out of a job. It's like, oh, fine, I'll do it again, but I'm not going to speak for this one. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just annoyed with this movie.
Oh.
So now they get
Yeah,
told
she's
by
explaining her.
the blind professor lady, it's like, hey, we've been working on a biological weapon that can just instantly wipe out all the vampires.
Yeah,
The
like a
lethality.
genophage from Mass Effect.
Yeah, but
How
the
the fuck did
lethality
she do
is
that, by the way?
still spotty. Science.
She's also blind. Ah, yes. Let me use this old computer while blind. I can't see the screen or anything.
Well, I mean, she has that like braille computerized thing,
No.
and then she said,
Is
"Oh,
it-
we'll do some show and tell for you sighted people."
So question, how do you know what's on screen though?
I guess the Braille told her what the content of the thing she made was, because I mean she was able to make it somehow, right?
It came to me in a dream.
I mean, I like this is one that I think to answer that accurately, we would probably need to talk to someone who is totally blind and capable of using a computer, because I guess that interface is not something I'm familiar with.
I don't think it existed back then. Like you could do that at the time.
I don't know. Like prosthetics and things like that have been, like, as much as they've gotten a lot better lately, there's been technology that does like rudimentary versions of a lot of accessible aid things at the medical level for quite some time. So, but I don't know really. So, like I said, I couldn't really tell you. I guess I just don't know enough about it to say no. That's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, now we get.
I'm put together with robot parts.
Patton Oswalt is showing us some weapons.
Gross.
Look, it's an electronic pistol that shoots things and stuff. It's just I don't fucking know. It's like here it has concentrated bursts of UV light. They're just showing us their I don't know.
I mean, so that's another thing. Like, why? What is the point of the UV light bullets when silver works?
I don't know. It looks cool in technology. It's just
aren't these much more expensive and difficult to make? Like, there's a mechanism here where like a hunk of silver just.
I mean, fucking look at the weapon they have here. Look at this fucking monstrosity of technology.
I'm just thinking about this joke in Silicon Valley where the group get this fridge and the fridge like talks and he talks like a person. And Guilfoyle makes the apt observation: solutionism at its worst, like of like essentially solving problems that never even existed in the first place. Like, why would you need to put a light, like UV lights on a bullet?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
I mean, like, if they're saying, okay, silver's expensive, we can't afford silver, so instead we'll use very expensive looking technology that we have to hand make every single shot.
I mean, this must be expensive. These are made by Beats by Dre. Look at this gun. It's insane.
Yeah. Like, the only thing this would kill faster is, like, that really fat vampire that would probably take him. Like, this is the problem. Like, all the vampires explode into ash the second they come into contact with silver. So it's like, why? What is the actual point of this? There's not even, like, there's no accessibility benefit to this. There's no, like, reduced friction from this method. There's no angle I can justify this from, and I'm really good at justifying things. So, like,
this is the kind of thing that you design to fight the Reapers, but you do not need for normal vampires, which are the majority of the vampires in this film.
Also, they've been sitting on this fucking crazy technology while Blade and Whistler have been using like modified Uzis and just normal shotguns. With like a little
technology
bit of
sharing metal stuff. Whistler did not even tell Blade about these people.
No, it just gets worse. They have like
Whistler just didn't have the heart to tell them that we're just the R&D team.
We're actually the old men that nobody likes. They got a Jessica Biel over there. You seen that girl's body? Anyways, I'm gonna die soon.
I shouldn't say that. She's my daughter, actually.
I'm gonna die. Don't care.
Yeah, I guess right. I formed that incorrectly, didn't I?
Let's have like
it's easier to impersonate Whistler than Blade, okay?
They also have this fucking Doom shotgun, like a fucking super shotgun kind of deal with like 3 chambers or whatever. It's like a I don't know. They don't really get like none of these weapons actually get like any crazy time on screen. So I don't know why we're making this whole dealio out of it.
The 3-barrel rifle is mentioned again, but it's never used.
Yeah, that's actually
they true. Say, oh yeah, you can shoot this MacGuffin thing with the 3-barrel rifle or a bow, and the bow is the only thing that makes an appearance.
It's like something you'd see in Serious Sam.
So yeah, look at this fucking thing right there. It's nuts. If that's half as hot as the surface of the sun, if you're this close to it, wouldn't this fuck you up?
I can't get my head around though carrying around 2 things that are big and shaped like a bow.
Yeah,
it's like why would you not just try to find a way to design those into the same thing? And it feels like having a wire that glows with UV when you press a different button would probably be the way to go about that, right? But well, I mean, to use it if they had to use it in the same fashion as a melee weapon. Like I would be on the props team. I was like, why aren't we just making this a feature of the fucking bow and arrow she carries?
Bro,
why does she have to have 2 bow-shaped weapons? It's silly.
Blade has a fucking dagger with a
fuck
string
you.
on it and kills them instantly. You don't need this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
You don't need this
don't.
at all.
They only use UV tech, I guess. They don't like silver.
It's like their shtick. It's like their faction bonus they get when they in the class selection. You get
Although
UV tech.
they do use silver in air conditioners.
That's true. Oh yeah, the you know it makes the vampires weak and it gives the humans cancer in 20 years. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something else that kind of like as these
Like
films
a
have
heart
gone
attack
along and they've
immediately.
gotten like but as these films have gone along and they've gotten like more and more out there, it's kind of like it becomes increasingly weird that they're still like committed to the whole like, oh, you know, we're not, you know, all these myths about vampires. You think you believe in that? You believe they can't see, you can't see the reflection, or they don't turn to mist. Also, here's this laser that's made out of like sun energy. Or it's like it's a bit inconsistent. It's a weird choice to have like all of this like we're gonna make vampires really strictly realistic and then we're gonna go ape shit in other areas. It's just odd to me.
Yeah, he's also the line where it's like he's more like a snake body with thousands of bones or something. And
Have
then
we got there yet? Actually,
That just it just wasn't.
Oh,
screen.
okay.
So that's like I guess if you say that, and then Deadpool asks Patton Oswalt if he got laid, and he says many times with women actually, and that was very funny.
I
Moving
mean, like, jeez, yeah,
That was like a
such an
proto
awkward
MCU joke.
That was very bad.
But is the implication that he hasn't? Like, are they trying to say that
Well,
like
he's
this
the
guy
nerd
who?
of the faction, so that's just the lowest bar to cross. Like, do
You have
have you
so
seen
you have,
a
like-
boob before? Haha, nerd.
But that's the thing. The team with Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel is like, nerd. You never even had sex, have you, fucking nerd? It's like,
No, they were just
why are
like-
they treating him like that?
I don't even know because they were just like, "Hey, show us the weapons." Like, yeah, okay, it's all cool. And then he's like, "Virgin, lol." It's like,
Was this
Yeah, no,
Virgin
inspiration
joke
for
is
the
funny.
dog?
It's like needlessly mean to the dude, and he doesn't seem to really have too much of a problem with it.
no, it's just I don't know. Maybe it's like a very failed attempt. It's like, look, they're just bantering. It's like I don't know. That just came out of left field. I don't know. That's fucking stupid. 'Cause he
Honestly,
was also
it probably
talking about
would have been
fucking
better
weapons.
if he.
He was talking about
Yeah,
weapons he built apparently. So I don't even know why. I don't know. It's just.
I think I rewrote a funnier joke without even hardly thinking about it. If he snapped back really assuredly and said something like, "I've gone to third base 4 times," that would have been a lot funnier. Because that's like he's proud of it, but still he's technically not had sex.
Yeah. Oh, now we get.
Well, it
the
was nice
whole
of
thing.
She-Hulk to steal that joke later on.
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Kind of.
And then it's like, hey, now we're gonna go kill some familiars. Also, Jessica Biel likes to have her internal soundtrack, and this is where we actually see the soundtrack. Hang on, there it is. There's your Apple iTunes thingy. What we got? We got the artists Fluke with Atom Bomb.
I remember that iTunes interface.
I do
Also,
remember.
they do this earlier in the film too. That means they do this twice.
Oh well.
No, why would you do this?
Well, what's funny is now the part of this aspect that's dated or is like aged the worst is the idea of having to have an extra computer nearby to add songs to your portable music device,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
as opposed to using the device itself to just download other songs.
Yeah, like YouTube Premium, you get both a video service and a music service, and it's it's pretty good.
2000s Edge listens to music while killing vampires. Yeah. By the way, I think
Yeah.
it shouldn't be. It doesn't need to be said, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Listening to music while in a combat scenario probably not a great idea. you
Yeah,
know? I
never a
think
good
that's,
idea. Maybe if you're a helicopter gunner, because you're not hearing shit anyways. But you would still actually want to be able to hear the radio because you
Yeah.
would need fire orders and commands and stuff. So even then, blasting music would be a bad idea.
You probably
Yep.
would never want to do it. Like in like maybe in a sporting scenario, but it's not in your headphones. It's playing on a speaker. So if she wanted to do this, she would have she would have a speaker like on her belt that she would play it out loud.
That'd be way funnier. She's just like one of those assholes on the subway who has like a backpack that has speakers on it. It's like, you're not the only one on the train, man.
It doesn't even really fit the character either, because there are some characters who would be reckless enough to listen to music while they're doing like dangerous shit. But this character, I don't get that vibe, if that makes sense. Like, I just don't get that like Cassie Cage sort of. Yeah, I really don't. I can buy Tony Stark listening to AC/DC while he's doing his Iron Man shit. I can't buy this for whatever reason.
Well, I guess because she doesn't seem to have, there's no levity to her character. She's ultra serious in every single shot she's in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Deadpool says he's more of a Devil Hasselhoff fan himself, and Blade doesn't react, which probably means Wesley Snipes didn't react, because that's just what happens in this. I know.
Oh.
And then
this is like a forensic thing we're doing. I love it.
Alex, I'm old. I'm still a millennial, though. I'm just an elder millennial.
Yeah. Then we get a montage of them killing Familia so they can get to Dr. Vance. It's very exciting.
I am pretty sure that one of the sets in this montage is also used in Deadpool.
Really?
Yeah, it's the one with the staircase. Where they're fighting in like what looks like, I'm not sure if it's like a warehouse or something.
Wait, I think
Possibly.
this one.
It's been a while since I've watched Deadpool, actually.
With the red staircase?
It's like an exposed staircase, like on the side. It doesn't have any rails or anything.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember it from Deadpool as well.
The problem is I'm trying to, because like obviously, I know you're past it. It's in the montage.
It is in the montage. Okay, wait. Let's see. There's a door.
Dante is better than Abigail Whistler.
One? This is another staircase I just saw.
Yes. Yeah. I'm confident. Actually. Well, there was a railing. I'm pretty sure that this is a set that is in Deadpool, and the fact that Ryan Reynolds is in both movies, I don't know that means anything.
It's a space.
He did produce Deadpool, so I mean, like he might have said, "Hey, there was a pretty good fight scene location that I had on Blade Trinity. Why don't we see if we can get that?"
Oh, yeah, like this one shows up in the montage when he's looking for Francis.
Okay.
Like,
I think that makes sense in my head.
He like runs down the staircases, does like a spin, and I'm confident it's the same set.
I feel like watching Deadpool later. I probably should.
Yeah,
I've not seen Deadpool 2 outside of the theater. That was in like 2015.
Yeah, I need to.
2016 maybe.
Four cuts of that film.
I'm not watching the PG-13 one ever.
I'll be rewatching those two before Thursday before I go watch the new one.
Right.
Oh yeah, this week.
Yeah.
This week.
Oh yes.
It kind of caught me off guard as well. It's like, oh, isn't that like in a month?
It's 2018?
Like, oh wait, no, it's actually.
No, it couldn't have been 2018 because I had two legs when I was on the deployment that I went to go see Deadpool 2 on the way to.
Deadpool 2 came out in 2018.
No, it can't be.
It did.
I'm sorry.
Maybe it was the first Deadpool. Wait, was Deadpool 1 2016?
Yeah, the first one was 2016.
Okay, it was then we saw Deadpool 1. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you know, I was like, look, my loss of leg is like, I'm not wrong on that date. And I definitely was not legless on the Arctic deployment that we went on.
Time and space no longer made sense.
Both feet were cold. I remember both feet being very cold up there.
Oh my god, we're giving Mark PTSD.
Well, no, it's just I got the two Deadpool movies mixed up. That I'm not unclear about any of the army details. I was like, no, there's no way I had a prosthetic leg on that tour. I've never gone anywhere since I've lost my leg.
Wow. So they got the last guy here, and it's like, oh, I don't know my handler, ha ha ha. And then his phone rings, and it's like, oh, it's you. Let me take that. And then he has Vance on the phone, and then they go to Vance. That's it. And then Deadpool tries to make jokes, but Wesley Snipes doesn't react. So yeah, that's makes me feel bad for Ryan Reynolds, really. Like, it's just,
I mean, it's probably a really shitty experience making this movie.
He was trying.
Like he's
I
like,
didn't
hey,
make
how
friends
about
with
you
a
try?
penguin, but I did make friend with a wild dog.
He just goes like, kick back, get in touch with your inner child, that sort of thing. Like, I don't know. Just a thought, but you might want to consider blinking once in a while, which I know is actually kind of fun line. I don't know. And then he just stops and looks at him. And I don't know if Wesley was considering punching him in the face for real here for a second, or I don't know. It's just.
I think he should have.
And
It
it
would
just
have added
says,
to the film.
I'm sorry I ate a lot of sugar today. But yeah, I agree. It was probably a shitty experience to be on set with him. It's like, man.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes that happens where it really starts to kind of leak through into the where you just like watching like you guys seem like really pissed off with each other. Like
Yeah.
you just get that impression sometimes when you watch the movie.
Yeah, and sometimes that can work. Like it can actually work in the film's favor, but this might not have been one of those times.
That's the dog that hung out in our camp
Oh, no.
in the Discord.
Oh, I want to touch his snoozle.
Look at that doggo.
Yeah, he's a good boy. We fed him and he loved us. My mom actually saw those pictures and she's like, "Is that a wolf?" And I'm like, I don't think so. It's really nice. Like, I don't know. I was like, I guess I don't know though. It was just a very friendly dog.
You know,
Oh, we got
I think you would know.
We just
If
been
it's a wolf.
X-rated.
It's pretty big.
there was like that one wolf that like people would take their dogs to the one place the wolf would hang out, and the wolf would play with the dogs, and they think that wolf was like a remnant from like the wolves that would have eventually turned into dogs. Like it had that human-friendly gene in it, and then a bunch of hunters killed it, and they had to, and everyone got sad and made a statue of the wolf because the wolf was so friendly.
Oh.
Yeah. Also,
Apparently, X-Ray Girl just rated us. Thank you, honey.
Yeah, I know. I just said it, but you ignored me. Everyone.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I said we've been X-rated, but you guys been talking, so I guess.
Oh.
But yeah,
We're
hello,
X-rated?
hello.
Oh my! Well, I'll
We are
just
also
take my pants
X-rated,
off
yeah.
right here.
For the
I mean, that's the
uncensored
good thing about
version,
Discord
Go to
shows.
adamandeve.com.
Good segue. It's
One
gotta
day
be
we'll
our
have
goal
a
by the end-
sponsor.
Yeah, by the end of 2025, we got to get a legit Adam and Eve sponsorship just because we've done it as the meme.
Yeah, well, I think that would be my dream sponsorship, because I feel like that would fit most with my brand. I feel.
Yeah,
Come?
100%.
Yes.
Yes.
He finds a way to talk about it every time.
Anyway, they go to
There is no
Vance's office while just beating everyone up, and I don't know. This is no consequences to anyone apparently. But Vance has already been bitten because this is actually Dracula. So yeah, Vance is already dead. Fuck him, I guess. They try to shoot him, but
he is not wearing glasses, right?
No.
No, okay. I was wondering. I was like, did he make glasses appear with his fucking shifty bones too? And yeah, I remembered it wrong.
I think it was already given away by the shirt, because
That's true.
And the eyes. His eyes are like bright yellow.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, they don't make it like a big thing. They just go in there, they see it immediately after 2 seconds, and it's like, oh, look, it's him.
It's like, what was the point? Couldn't
I
it have
don't
just
know.
been Dracula there waiting for them, and the same scene would have happened?
Yeah. It's like, oh, so you're the hunter they all fear, blah, blah, blah. Actually, Deadpool is like, just shoot him. And then he gets stabbed with this spiky thing. And then Deadpool, Blade just jumps out of the window after him. They do like some weird flumbo jumps that look really weird on CGI green screens. I wish I had anything interesting to say, but it's also uninteresting. I'm sorry. It's like another chase scene that goes on for a minute. They just run through crowds and over cars and up a staircase and through a wall. Yes, through a wall. That was not a joke. They just walk through a wall, then up a staircase. This is also, I say those by skipping
so
up 10
poorly
seconds every
edited.
time I say something. And then they are up on on the roof of a big skyscraper. And on the way, Dracula stole a baby. And he's like, you're not so different, you and I. We both love fighting, but also you like humans. That's your weakness. And
I'm sorry, can we just appreciate the fact that this is like the first Dracula versus Blade fight, and it's like the most underwhelming thing ever?
Dracula had to resort to baby hostagery.
This is the vampire versus the vampire hunter. How did we get something this lame?
Hold up, I'll drop this baby. Don't think I won't.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm the first of vampires. I'm unique. It's like, yeah, through me, they could become daywalkers. And then he does like thing. Look at the humans down there. They're like ants. Haha, I can write stories.
Yeah, it's because we're on a building.
Yeah.
They look like ants to other humans too, you moron. You're just high up.
And can we just so he drops a line in here where it's like, so he's asking like, how could you exist in sunlight? And then he's like, well, didn't you read Stoker's Tale? And it's like, wait, and then he goes on to give exposition about him being the first vampire and being unique, and it's like, wait, that was not in Bram Stoker's Dracula, I'm pretty sure. Like, I from what I know,
he can be around in the day. He's just a lot less powerful.
Yeah,
sunlight doesn't kill him, but it weakens him.
Yeah, do they establish he's the first vampire in
no.
Bram Stoker's Dracula?
At least I don't remember that being a thing.
Okay, so they pulled that out of their hiney. Okay.
Their hiney.
Yeah, bottoms.
I'll show you a real hiney. What?
Oh, video mode. Let's go.
Full
moon tonight. It's time for the werewolf stream.
Ow!
Okay, get out.
Okay. Well, he had to be in the coffin because the sun still does weaken him. So resting, it's better for him to be in total darkness. But even if you watch the what's it called, the Francis Ford Coppola movie, the one with Gary Oldman, there's a scene where he's like walking around during the day in that one.
Yeah. Is meme on something? No, that's just normal.
I'm finally eating enough carbs. That's what.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah.
I've had more carbs this weekend than I had all month. I feel bad. But yeah, the Dracula says, I'm immortal, and Blade's like, I've heard that 100 times, and I killed them all. It's like, yeah, that's true. It's like, oh, we're gonna fight next time, and then he throws the baby, and Blade catches, and he runs away like a super Chad. And that's our first encounter between Blade and Dracula. It was very epic and cool. Yeah.
They brought in Dracula, and they did this. Why?
But then this happens, which I actually kind of think it's pretty funny, because he catches the baby, looks down at it. He just goes like, Kuchiku.
Yeah, that's like the first Blade thing he's done.
Yeah. Kuchiku.
Oh, they finally captured the essence of Blade after this. It's actually like I think this is actually the halfway point of the film.
Yeah, 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Still not the one that made me laugh though. That one's still coming up. I will address it because it might be the only thing I liked about this entire movie.
There's the one Ryan Reynolds line that he says that is iconic for this movie. If that's the one you mean, I don't know.
I'm not. Well, no, he doesn't say it to Ryan Reynolds. He says it to.
I'm talking about the thing that Ryan Reynolds says when he's captured, the Thunder Cunt.
Oh yeah.
Cock juggling.
I was like, dude, he has a lot of terrible one-liners. I'm not sure that what the famous one would be in that scene.
Cock juggling thunder cunt.
But yeah, the Ryan Reynolds is hurt, so he gets put on a stretcher, and they put like some, I don't know, some cum into his thing, and then that helps. I don't know. It's like some weird gel. I don't fucking know. They just keep making shit up in this movie. It's insane.
It's like the biofoam from Halo.
Yeah, or the weird thing from Kingsman that just revives people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what did I call it? Oh yeah, they fill Deadpool up with Healy cream. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called it some kind of protein, elastic protein, which I rolled my eyes. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I kind of believe that in the Halo universe, they have a stem cell foam that you can just inject into anything and it kind of rebuilds the damage of what happened. But like that's also like 400 years in the future.
Wait, you mean the one in Halo ODST?
Well, yeah. So I mean, the ODSTs use it, but you won't. You won't see it in a lot of the video games. It's mostly in the books. but it is kind of the way that basically that's supposed to be what's in the med kit. That's why they work so well, because you can heal a bullet wound with it. Now, if you get hit in the head, you're dead. Like it's not the Kingsman tier, but but it is pretty powerful.
Yeah, I just
So is
remember.
it heroin?
I mean, I'm sure there is an analgesic in there, so maybe.
I just remember the Halo ODST scene, where like they had to use some kind of foam to plug up a
Oh yeah, it is in
punctured
one of
lung.
the cinematics in ODST, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this will keep you alive until we can
Okay,
get
yeah.
help.
Well, I mean, there you go. Then it is in one of the games. I thought I just knew it from the books, and I wanted to make sure that wasn't me confusing every Halo fan out there with mentioning something they hadn't heard of. But yes, ODST is the source that Swoll gave me.
I see.
I like that game.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So they're back
Nathan
in base.
Fillion and Trisha Helfer are in it.
Back in base.
There's a William Shatner vampire film on the screen that
Yes.
that he is watching.
Yes. And we also just open up we just open it up. We don't really do anything with like, what are you going to do if we actually kill the vampires? I didn't see you do anything normal. And that's it. It's never ever mentioned again. But I guess we just throw it in here and never explore it. But much more interesting. Does anyone know what game is on the PlayStation?
No.
Oh, I don't know if I can see that well enough.
Put it on screen.
Enhance.
I will investigate. Put it on screen now.
It is
Do
already
it.
on screen.
Well, that looks
It
like
is?
a movie.
Yeah. Hit live, I guess,
but-
if you're not
but-
seeing it.
But it looks like there's a PlayStation sign
Oh,
on
yeah,
top, isn't it?
PlayStation.
Yeah, that is a
Yeah,
that-
that's
This is the
definitely a
William
PS2
Shatner
game.
vampire film. That's the William Shatner vampire film.
Burnout
That's a-
Revenge
that's
for the
a-
PS2.
Oh god, amazing! That's an original PS2 too. It even has the blue horizontal stand.
Nice. This isn't even a Sony film, so you know they didn't have to do that, but they did.
Oh
We
yeah,
appreciate it.
I have that kind of PS2 actually.
Yeah.
That's the one I got. It still works.
I do.
like a
My
champ.
one of those isn't functional anymore though, so I also have one of the like pop top ones, no motor drive.
Where's the weed in the diet?
But I use
soda?
emulators mostly, anyways. Though hey, I've been playing the shit out of a PS2 game lately
Ooh.
on an emulator, but still,
You know, it's better than nothing.
yeah. The
I never
Japan
had a
only
PS2.
Berserk
I was
game
always
is very
jealous.
good.
It was a cool system.
Yeah, I mean, just use PC SX2 and you can play PS2 games.
You sure
On PC,
can.
it's nice.
There's
Upscale
also a lot
them
of
and everything.
PS2 remasters out there as well, which is convenient.
I mean, I honestly like this Berserk game that I've been playing. If there is a way that I can crowdfund an official localization and remaster, I feel like whatever I invest, I would make my money back. Because this
think you
game's
would.
really good. It's just trapped at 30 FPS in Japanese and only on PS2.
Yeah. Ooh, there was that. They did that. There was that recent technique that they just that there was a new breakthrough like emulation technique where they could recompile like they actually managed to almost like extract the source code or something.
Yeah,
and
they
were
did
able
it
to
for
make,
Jack and Daxter as well. Metal actually sent me one for Majora's Mask, decompiled ports. It's basically
Yeah,
a
that
native
one.
PC port that's made by taking the original console disk image, ripping the code apart, and then recreating it.
Yes.
Yes,
it's
that's
a-
what I was thinking of.
it's
They
a
should do that for
cool
PS2
thing.
games.
Yeah, it's a cool thing that people have as a hobby that I enjoy is in our world.
Some
Oh, there's a
scene
line
where
coming
the
up.
lady and Dracula horny or something. He's like, "Why are you wearing that cross? Whole old habits." And they're like, "Take it off. I'll make you a better one." And then they probably have sex or something. I don't fucking know. I don't give a shit. No one gives a shit. It goes fucking nowhere. Is what I'm trying to say. It's just a running theme with this movie. But it's probably not intentional. He's like, "I'm gonna kill them all," and then he bites her, feeds on it. I just don't know. Blade sniffs more of his inhaler. They go to like
Oh
some
no, it's this.
go to some place. Oh wait, there's this fucking weird ass scene with the little child. It's like, why do you do that? It's like, there's something bad inside of me. And it's like, why aren't you just nice? And then the scene ends.
Oh no, but Metal, you have not recapped that scene correctly because it was, why can't you just be nice? Dramatic zoom in.
You actually
the
timed
world
that
is at
perfect. You timed that perfectly with on screen just now. That was amazing.
Oh my god, I didn't even do that on purpose.
Yeah.
That was I'm so happy that happened. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Because the way it's framed before he says that line, it's almost like he had never thought about that before. Like, why don't I just try and be nice? Zoom in.
He just goes back inside, gives Ryan Reynolds a big hug. It's like, you know what, you're all right, kid. Just buys everyone donuts. Just comes back with some nice coffee from Starbucks or something.
You know, we had so many alternate endings to this film. They could have squeezed in one more. The donut ending.
Anyway, they find some hints that some company has been buying a lot of things, and then they go check it out because we need to split up the team from the rest of the other.
We need
team.
more sequences.
Yeah, because they go into their warehouse, and it's like, what are you doing? It's like, well, we're here, we're doing the thing, and it's like another thing. It's like, why do they even do this? It's just world building again that's just thrown inside of here that you really don't need because it doesn't really do anything in the grand scheme of the movie. If this would be like a part of more movies, you know, it's like, here they have these things now, because what they do is they basically harvest homeless people out of blood and put them in an artificial coma or something, and just drain them of
Love
blood.
that they're in giant sandwich bags.
They are giant sandwich bags. Here for chat, that's what they look like. They're just here getting soaked out of blood because, like, you know what, feeding is very annoying and not as effective, so we do this now. And they're just making this whole thing, oh man, this is crazy and sad. This is just a blood farming facility. And then they kill the guy and they turn off the thing. In a weird way, but it's like, what's the code? And it's like, it's this. And it's like, well, type it in then. It's like, just tell her to type it in. Why do you need to code? Because it's like, shutdown pass, what is it? Harvest. Well, put it in. Like, he gets annoyed with her. It's like, okay, sorry. Anyway,
I also feel that the tattoo-based security system is not quite as effective as a fingerprint scanner or Face ID. You know,
you can copy a tattoo.
Yeah.
But yeah, they turn it off and they was like, oh, look how merciful we are. And yeah, there we go. But now we get to... Yeah, go ahead.
That's the thing, though. Like, if their plan is to just have blood farms and their whole thing is like, yeah, we plan to survive casually extracting blood from humans. At that point, why not say, hey, we're vampires, we're real, we're incredibly scary and can kill you all, unless every single human being that has drinkable blood needs to give like a pint of blood every Friday.
Yeah.
And feed our entire species. I'd be like, honestly, that versus a war with vampires, it's like, well, I mean, it's that or they're killing
donate
people.
blood anyway, so like, you know, whatever.
Apparently, there's a whole lot of people who we are keeping not only alive, but from murdering other people, so maybe we should.
Yes, also, catastrophic problem with this. Humans grow old and die. Even in that state, they will rot away eventually. Yeah, they can't reproduce while they're... Okay, so they describe it as a medically induced coma, but then they also say it's brain dead. I don't think those two things are the same.
I think they said chemically induced. Which, again, you are correct. So not correct. The same.
Yeah.
So I guess they just kill their brain.
Well, I mean, if they're in a medically induced coma, you would assume that they are put there in a state so that they can be woken up if they're needed. But if they're brain dead, it's like, why don't you just lobotomize them then? Like, why even bother with like medications?
Yeah, this is
remove every part of their brain that is not used for autonomic nerve function, like breathing.
Yeah.
Although they're in vacuum sealed bags, so are they breathing? Like,
well, you know, they I don't know. Is there like an oxygen tube that like feeds?
I don't know, like, are they wearing masks or like nasal cannulas or something?
Yeah, or like Is there like
Even
a
then,
way
though,
to
how would
put...
they exhale if it's vacuum sealed? Oh God, man, this movie's so bad.
Yeah, this is pretty fucking horrendous.
They're doing a
yeah,
science, and it's
Your carbon
all...
dioxide does need to go somewhere. That's what I'm saying.
yeah. That's
No,
yeah,
it doesn't. Science. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally
like
wouldn't poison
you-
them and
vampire science even.
make their
Can you
blood
inject
toxic.
oxygen into blood
You can once probably.
and then you die?
Yeah. That was
Well,
a
I mean,
joke.
oxygen is
think.
being injected into
I
your
know,
blood
maybe though.
constantly in the alveoli of your lungs. Like that's what they do.
The bigger issue would be getting rid of the CO2 because the CO2 will
Yeah.
Poison you much
I was
faster than you
serious when
need.
I said like you need to be able to exhale and not be breathing in the stuff that you exhaled. Like
yeah.
it's-
I'm agreeing with you. It's just
Yeah.
Maybe they have a catheter
CO2
for
will
the
kill you
CO2.
faster than lack of oxygen will kill you.
Mhm.
Carbon
Basically,
monoxide.
Yeah,
the vampires are really smart. There you go.
they got the big smarts for sure.
A very big brain. They're like those. They're like the Telosians from The Cage, from Star Trek, the original series. They've got big brains. Woogie woogie woo.
Anyway, the whole point is because we needed to get our two very good fighters away from the rest of the team that we very much care about and definitely know all the names of, and are very sad if they would all be killed right now. Anyway, they're gonna get killed, all of them, except Ryan Reynolds because he's the main character, and the little girl because I don't know, they don't want to kill the girl, I guess. It's very spooky because the Whistler is standing there and Ryan Reynolds is like, dude, you're dead, but it's obviously Dracula. I don't know why he took the form of Whistler. I just don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah.
This whole sequence is like weirdly long. I don't know why it takes so long. It's like the next 15 minutes is spent on this, and it's not that interesting. It's not spooky. It's just cringe.
It's really
Yes.
because the girl goes like, "Mom, the lights are weird." How weird? It's like, oh, it's like flickering and stuff. And it's like, hey, I need you to hide like we talked about. And he's like, okay. And then the blind lady goes around with a gun in her hand, by the way, through the darkness. And
Every time, man.
as Fringy
Halo
said, it's
2,
like,
Halo
takes-
Season 2, they give a grenade launcher to a blind man.
Oh, that's even worse.
But you don't
That's true,
get it.
they
He
do.
used to be a Spartan, so it makes sense.
Dude, that show got cancelled.
It did.
Yeah, buddy. Woo!
I actually couldn't believe how many people I saw being like, oh, it's a shame it got canceled. It was really getting a lot better in season 2. I'm like, what the fuck did you watch? What do you mean? It did not get better in season 2.
That show didn't have an audience, so I don't even. Yeah, like it's whatever. It doesn't get better in season 2, by the way. Just it's
Yeah.
Oh, do I think it's worse? Or
Mhm.
it's probably about on par with season 1, which means it's like a 2 out of 10 at best.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's no
no.
better.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
that
did
show
you
is
do that?
terrible. Like it actually is shocking how
Mhm.
little in there is even like redeemable. Anyway,
It's crazy how little of it seems like it's at all Halo.
yeah, but they signaled pretty early on that they weren't interested in making a faithful Halo adaptation. So
That's true.
Why,
I remember
though?
that. We're like, oh, we don't want to be
we
restricted
we
by
didn't
the
play
games.
the game.
Like,
We didn't
fuck
talk
do
about
you
the
mean?
game. That's right. Yeah, that shit.
Cringe.
Yeah, it doesn't
Oh,
seem
put a
like they
coat
read
of
the
paint
books
and
either.
called
I'll
it
say that
Halo.
much. They read the title of a couple books. Maybe the back
they
cover,
probably
because
saw
they
some
definitely
art
had
at some
Spartan
point.
3s on Onyx.
Oh
God, that
God.
was stupid.
No. Talking about
Also,
stupid,
this is the scene.
this sequence here. So she's going around. The driver
She's blind,
and
by the way.
Patton Oswalt have been killed. It's very sad because we definitely very much care about this whole team because we spent at least 7 minutes with them. But yeah, she's going around with her stick, goes like tap tap, where is everybody? And then they do like a scene. It's very spooky. He's still Whistler for some reason. Did he get a picture somewhere? I don't know why he's Whistler. I don't think it makes any sense.
How did he grow a beard if it's bones moving under his skin? By the
Don't
way,
worry about
how did he change his hair color?
Hair
How did he
bones.
do all that?
Don't you have
Hair
those?
bones. Okay.
I mean, like at a
Okay.
certain point, it just makes more sense to say because he has magic.
Just
Yeah.
Just
say, he's
say,
a
okay, we
shapeshifter,
want him
full
to.
stop.
Yeah.
Don't do the bone thingy. It's like, why? They put that in there because they found it so fucking cool. It's like, yes, like snake bones. Like, no, he fucking doesn't. Shut up.
Well, this is what I mean. Like, they don't commit to the realistic vampire angle, but they make fun of the idea of him turning to mist or bats or whatever. And it's just like, oh yeah, versus your fucking thing where he's just spontaneously growing his hair out and fucking growing three sizes. Oh yeah, that's way more realistic. Way more realistic. Sure, why not?
Probably could have made it make more sense by just saying, "Oh yeah, no, he can get inside your head and make you see things that aren't there."
Yeah,
make you think he's other people. Like,
I mean, hypnosis is a vampire power. Just saying.
I'm trying to imagine what was going through Dracula's mind here. He's been like, "Yeah, I'm gonna trick her with the Whistler thing too. She's gonna be so confused." And then she just aims the gun at him and just turns around. He's like, "Is that bitch blind? My whole fucking thing is ruined."
Quite literally. Well, that's kind of the funny part. He probably took this form on because he thought, yeah, this is going to stir up all sorts of turmoil. Exactly. And it's just like, no one fucking here knows who Whistler was. Fuck!
Well, the other ones do, because he was involved in the whole Night Stalker operation. But she's blind, because the thing is, when she turns around and he comes in front of her, he's back into his normal form.
He comes in front of her?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
And it's just funny to think, it's like, fuck, is she blind? God damn it, that doesn't work on her at all. But yeah, she gets killed. He takes the girl and Ryan Reynolds with him for some reason, because I guess he wants her to torture her or something. And he could have just killed them all. I don't know. Anyway, now, if you thought this was already long, we're not done yet, because right after this we get the other two, Blade and Whistler, coming back, and they do a very slow sweep of the whole area, and that takes another 5-6 minutes.
I just don't understand. Like, why did they have a desire to make this movie as long as they did?
I don't know.
It's really like there's so much stuff that you could cut down and make this a snappier movie that you can get in more showings at the theater for. Like, they would have made more money. So it's like, why make it worse and long?
At least that way it would be short and shit. Now it's just the length of the other ones and shit.
Like, at a certain point, you don't get points
trying to get him to open his eyes that they couldn't cut anything else out. They just didn't have the energy.
Unless it was in someone's contract that the movie needs to be at least 2 hours.
Right. Jesus.
And they were just like, okay, we don't have anything, so let's just pad it with a bunch of bullshit and let's do some Ahsoka walking around scenes.
Yeah.
Snyder Cut, walking up the stairs, rock music down.
It's too fast, slow motion.
Just remember,
slower
is a blueprint.
Oh god, this is such a weird
Blade
expression.
is the blade print.
But yeah, we get another funny scene. So Dracula took the time to put in blood on the curtains. Immortality will come to such as are fit for it, or something, whatever that means.
Oh, you managed to decode it, because I thought that he had a stroke halfway through writing it, because all I saw was, immortality will come for those who Yeah, I couldn't decipher it, and I was like, I don't give enough of a fuck to just...
Yeah,
I try.
I get it. But yeah, he just kind of crucified the blind lady on the wall. And now Whistler is very sad, and then Blade says, use it!
It's just like when Blade found Whistler in the first movie. It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Oh, yeah. Cringe.
Very cringe. Very, very cringe.
Use it. And
wait, what was she? Okay, so what was Blade referring to when he said use it? Because I couldn't make heads or tail.
Yeah, the sadness and anger to kill.
Yeah, it's the only thing it could have meant, right?
Okay, because that I feel like there's a through line that might have been dropped there, because that's like, I feel like that's like the only reference. Because I was just like, wait, are you like doing like the Palpatine thing right now? What's going on?
Good.
Get
into your head.
Anyway, now we get a couple of minutes of Ryan Reynolds doing his best Deadpool for the first time. I don't know.
The best, yeah. There's a term.
You know, it's you could see the potential. You could
Yeah.
see where someone would have gotten the idea to hand him a Deadpool comic on this very film and say,
Yeah.
"You should play this instead."
And there's better writing in this comic than there is in this movie. Try saying some of these jokes. People are going to
Hannibal
laugh
Blue.
harder.
It's
mean,
pretty
yeah.
funny to think that like he was in a couple of, he was in more than a few bad superhero films, way more than the average person. Because it was this, there was X-Men
Green
Origins
Lantern.
Wolverine, Green Lantern, and then finally Deadpool. Most
Yeah.
actors don't appear in that many bad superhero films.
I mean, I guess it's clear then that he probably had an interest in doing it. He might actually like enjoy comics, which
Oh,
I
I
don't know,
mean,
that's
there's
kind of
a
cool.
lot of there's a lot of deep lore sort of references in the there are references in the Deadpool movies that I find like impressive compared to what you would
Yes.
typically see in a typical Marvel film. Like even down, I mean, it's probably not like that deep lore, but making fun of what's his name because he can't draw feet, like that's kind of fun.
Did you see the sign in the background of the Deadpool and
that's what I
Wolverine
mean.
trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. I like that. That's what I mean. That's I get the impression that when Juggernaut shows up in Deadpool 2, he was like, yeah, it'd be really cool if we had Juggernaut, but he was like real Juggernaut, not cringe Juggernaut from
Yeah.
X-Men 3.
Vinnie Jones.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
you know
they,
who I am?
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
God,
Yeah, it
that's-
was actually Ryan Reynolds voicing Juggernaut in Deadpool
That's right.
2 as well.
yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, neat.
Yep.
Yeah, they need to save money. They were not
Gotta
given a
watch
lot of
Deadpool
money to
2
make those
again.
films, but they spent every penny. Actually, something really cool Ryan Reynolds did is that he took money out of his own salary, or he paid out of his own pocket to have the writers on set as advisors because the studio wasn't willing to pay for that.
That was
Mm.
something he
I
talked
mean,
about
like-
recently, wasn't it? Like in interviews
Yeah.
for the new one.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Prudent
surprise
decision.
me.
I think that investments like that tend to pay off. When you go the extra mile to make something a little bit better than it otherwise could have been,
Mhm.
people tend to notice, even if they don't really notice. They notice
Right.
in how much more they like the thing.
Yeah. And you can tell how much he cares because he a lot of the marketing, especially for the first two films, was like Ryan Reynolds' like baby in a sense because he had a direct line to the marketing team. So it was like, let's do this Valentine's Day thing, let's do this testicular cancer thing, let's do these interviews in character as Deadpool. Like all of those were his ideas to promote the film because he knew they wouldn't have a huge marketing budget to do like all sorts of like really bombastic stuff. So he decided, let's lean into the creative meta fourth walling stuff and get people talking about this while we loop like the same footage over and over again.
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Should like
But
that.
this scene is unlike.
Yeah, he does like a lot of things.
this is
Like,
where it all
tell us
began."
about the weapon Blade is playing. It's like, well, I can tell you that your hairdo is fucking whack, and also I had a lot of garlic and I just farted. So yeah, that's I
Which,
don't know.
like, I mean, they didn't even do anything with that. I think it like almost would have worked if like Triple H got a little itchy or something and he just started scratching himself for the rest of the
they could
scene.
have crossed that with the thing they do later when there's like the particles getting thrown in a bit before
Yeah.
they get sacrificed. Sacrificed.
Yeah, and even have him say, "Did you fart again?"
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
something
nope.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. There was one bit where like one of the vampires was really offended that King might have seen his dick. I don't know why that one amused me. I guess it's just the idea that this big buff vampire is actually really offended that this prisoner might have looked at his penis. Like, just the honor system.
Under some
implication.
circumstance.
Triple H has pretty
Yeah.
good comedic timing from what I've seen of him, obviously, in all the wrestling stuff. He's pretty funny. If
And he wasn't super well served by this, but I
No,
actually found
no.
it strange that he didn't end up doing more movies. I mean, maybe just this wasn't a good experience.
Well, he's
Didn't
basically
seem
been,
like it was
he's
for
basically
pretty
been
much
doing
anyone.
the WWE stuff all the time. He's basically he's like in one of the
Yeah, he's
top
like
leading-
running it now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like the top what is it called, like the oh shit, I can't fucking remember the name of it, but yeah, he's like for talents and stuff and also not the writing, but like creative direction, I think would be the best way to say it. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, he's
good for him.
he's a very high position. Like you won't see him do any movies and stuff.
Well,
Head of creative. Thanks, chat.
Sadly, before he went on to that, he was in a film called Blade Trinity.
He was, yeah.
We have to start somewhere.
That's funny. He started here. This is his big break. He always wanted to be a wrestler, but first thing he got was a role in Blade Trinity.
You know, foot in the door. Blade Trinity.
But anyway,
goodness.
she tells him, it's like, well, I'm gonna bite you, make you a vampire again, and then we're gonna starve you, and then we're gonna throw the girl in here, and you probably wouldn't like that. But you know what? Pretty good tactic to get him to talk at some point. Also, we'd never get close to that because we basically save him the same day, I'm pretty sure. I think it's just a gearing up montage now. Oh wait, no, she talks like
Oh.
some bullshit about how she has a knife of sadness in her heart or something. I don't fucking
that
care.
was
The knife of
a
sadness.
knife of sadness.
Yeah,
This is a
Superhero gearing
clunky
montage.
metaphor, is what that is.
yeah. While Blade
brain
is
must have
looking
repressed
down
this.
from upstairs.
Because he wasn't on set that day.
Probably, yeah. Hey Blade, can you look down here? We just do whatever with that. It's like, okay.
A knife of
Yeah.
sadness. What the hell?
And as long as I have
Oh,
this,
yeah.
I'm untouchable and strong. And if I take it out, I'll just die.
Yeah, that's some terrible writing, is what that is.
And then
I
Blade
think my
does what
brain
I would like to
repressed this
do. He
line.
just fucking leaves.
Yeah.
I like to think they
Also-
told him what lines were going on. And he was like, whatever. Well,
No, okay.
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like
well,
Blue
I'm
would be like, "What is
technically
this? What's this lady doing?"
Anyway, now she does
Oh,
like
yeah.
she I don't even know. She shoots arrows and they get faster every time somehow. Also, why is it?
Yeah.
Hang on, why is it 200 something FPS?
So
Feet
I
per
think that's
second.
feet per second.
Oh,
A second. I thought FPS at
I
first.
thought-
Stupid. Why would it be that?
Hmm.
I knew someone was going to make that mistake. I was like, oh, I can't wait.
I actually only just
Hey, and it wasn't
saw
me.
I
Look at that.
didn't- Well, I don't use foot. I'm not dumb. I got him.
We don't use freedom units in Outer Land.
Outer Lands, yeah, in the
we
Badlands.
Oh,
use
if only
the
I could use
real-
frame rates as currency.
We use the real system, the metric
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
The only one that makes sense.
Hey,
Never.
that's what we use too. I'm Canadian.
We
will
don't have a
never
literal measurement that's called a butt.
Yeah, nice.
I guess Swoll is the only one that uses Imperial.
I am the only American here, yes.
That is true.
Although I do a lot of research, so I use a lot of metric as well.
Oh, there
Ah,
you go.
good, good,
Yeah.
good. There is hope for you yet. Also, they say like they threaten to turn fucking King Pool person into a vampire again.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh cool, they'll just cure him again.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Empty threat is empty.
Well, the threat was that if they don't save him in time, he's gonna get fed the girl. Because he's not gonna be
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's not the
not gonna
turning
be
that's
healed
the
by
punishment
vampires, of
necessarily.
course.
Yes.
Because you said she's not gonna even let the girl in the room until he's like super hungry.
Yeah. By the way, shouldn't these arrows be in like different depths of inside this thing because she's shooting harder every time?
I mean, yeah, but that would be attention to detail.
Yeah.
So we don't. They don't do that in this movie.
No, it's just something I noticed. So.
Well, and I hope she wasn't aiming for the orange square the whole time, because otherwise, I'm.
But that had to do with the
Um,
meme, right? We split the arrow in half by shooting it down the middle. You know.
That's
yeah,
true.
it's true.
That's
Yeah.
what
Happens in,
restrained. What restrained?
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, doesn't it?
That happens in like a
Yeah.
million movies.
Yeah.
It's a meme.
Yeah.
It's I think Daredevil did it in the Spider-Man animated series. It's pretty cool. Actually, he did it multiple times. I think that's how they illustrated how good he was at being blind. But also, they say the virus is going to kill all the vampires in New York, and it's like, wasn't this meant to be a pandemic that like kills every vampire everywhere? Or like,
I think she said it'll kill all of them in the vicinity instantly, and then it'll spread.
Well,
Okay.
that's with the thing we're about to get here, because we
Oh.
got a random McFlamby named Calder, It's like, hey, I've got a message from the other lady in case she died, and because she died, we have the message now. Yeah, he's also one of the Night Stalkers or something, and he's gonna be their driver, and then they go back to his base of operation something. It's like, oh, if you see this, I'm dead. It's like, blah blah blah, take care of the girl. By the way, luckily I had enough time to make one singular thing of not UV, like the fucking serum they made to just kill everything vampire related.
The genophage.
Yeah.
Vampire away.
Vampire away, yeah. But it wasn't properly tested, and she's like, Blade, sorry, but maybe this is gonna kill you. And yeah, it's like the tip of the thing. It's like, this can be put on an arrow, but also in one of your guns, but it's gonna be only on an arrow. Be used, but yeah, there you go. Now we got our weaponry and our things going on. I'm gonna be racing through this because there's half an hour left, but it's all like shitty action basically.
I don't really have
there's
any notes.
nothing-
Yeah.
There's nothing like fun to talk about any cool move. Do you remember how cool it was when Blade rips the sword out of the out of the wall at the end of the fight in the first movie?
Yeah, it was
There's
great.
little, his little moves.
Yeah, he
There's so
fights
many
his
little
way
fun
to the
embellishments.
fights his way to the thing, and he goes like, I got my blade back, and then he does more fighting.
That's what I mean. There's a lot of like fun little, moments in the first Blade, right? Like the grin when he grabs his little like shuriken and like throws it around the room, or like the fist pump when he shoots the spike, or like lopping the guy's head off and then grabbing the glasses. There's like a lot of really fun moments that are like permeate
fucking
the
with Ron
fight scenes
Perlman.
that are often like a reward for for essentially like fighting his way through like to the end, and lots of like variations and cool moves. You remember that like in the opening fight when he like stakes the guy through the chin and pins him up on the ceiling? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
There's
sick.
nothing in this film that's as cool as that, and that's like one of many cool things.
Yeah. By the way, here's number 2 of the iTunes playlist.
Yeah, again.
There you go.
Yep.
There
we go.
There's also a short scene
Uncle.
where Dracula talks to the girl. It's like, aren't you afraid? Don't you want to be immortal? And he's like, no, I'm not afraid because I'm a real child in a real world. And also my friends are going to kill you. I was like, okay. Anyway, time to gear up and go kick
It'd be really funny if you just like ripped the little girl's head off right there.
That would be based.
Just rip the face. Rip the face.
It's like I don't like the idea of teaching children to be sassy to people who are like a danger to them. It's probably not a good thing to do.
Yeah, that would not be based.
Anyway, Deadpool is getting beat up more by all 3 of them. Somewhere in here, he does the line with you're a cock juggling thunder cunt, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it was alright.
It's just more. It's like, where's that tracking? Oh, it's in my left ass cheek. Okay, sorry, right one. Actually, it's in the middle. Yeah, then there's some particles. Blade comes through the ceiling, and then everyone gets to do their fighting. There's like remnants of the fighting things of Blade, but it's just cut all over the place. It just looks bad and not as fun.
Skin suit.
Right.
Like an impression of a Blade fight scene.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Certainly trying to do something.
Fighting happens.
Yeah. They got him to beat up a couple of guys, so that's fun.
Then they fight.
Deadpool gets saved. Whistler puts on her earbuds and starts killing people. She just punches 2 soldiers that have a helmet on, and they both fall over because helmets are not real and don't do anything ever.
True.
They have like full tactical gear, and he just punches them. Blade actually just shoots people. He doesn't even do anything cool. I think he uses his... Does he? No, he doesn't. I lied.
Gods forget guns exist.
I think he uses 2 throwing knives.
Yeah. Oh, he uses his shuriken once here and kills a couple of them in one go. Whistler uses her like UV sun beam thingy once and then never again. Then we get the scene, which was the only scene I actually remember, with like the vampire dogs, and the way he gets rid of them is just the dogs being stupid and they just all walk off a cliff through a glass, which is weird.
I feel like that could have been set up better if he was running and then there was like a floor cleaner right off to the side. It's like, oh, it's slippery. No, the dogs just they are slippery for some reason.
The dogs are slippery.
Also, why are the dogs
Dogs
reapers?
sometimes do have trouble stopping on a slippery
would
floor.
Why
say,
but,
are the
like,
dogs
Something that
reapers?
was bizarre about this was the dogs were obviously very happy. Like they weren't evil doggos.
No, they
clearly happy.
just said they were just vampires, but they were chilling.
Tolerating growls at somebody once. Like, it doesn't really do anything.
I don't know, like they just look really happy, like, and then it's like, no, look, they're evil. It's like, but no, they look at the doggos, like in real life, they
they're
were having a
puppies.
great day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess they were like, shit, man, they're having too much fun. How do we make them evil?
Reaper dogs.
Make them Resident Evil like. That's how we do it.
I'm
does
not even
feel
sure
like-
that fall would kill them either, right? I mean, like, they're vampires.
They're probably vampire, probably fine. Yeah. They're probably just eating
They-
people downstairs now.
Yeah, like, I
Or-
mean, they don't address that at all.
Or their bodies are broken.
They probably get exploded after the flame gets ejected into the air. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, maybe. yeah.
True.
Anyway,
Conveniently, they genocided the entire enemy race at the end of the movie.
Nice.
Deadpool gets to fight Triple H, which is probably the only real like physical fight in this movie, which I don't know
Yeah.
makes sense because Triple H does pretend fighting for a living at this time, so it's
Yeah.
probably an easy thing for him to do. Feels right at home. He even does like a big old power slam, which just looks like a power slam because he knows how to do those. But yeah, now everyone is doing like their boss fights. Blade is fighting Dracula, who's not even wearing his full armor that they teased, which is fucking bullshit, by the way.
By the way, one second.
Mm-hmm.
He does the thing that really annoys me. So when you have like asymmetric armor, your armored sleeve is on your sword hand because that's what's in danger of being cut.
Right.
But he uses his unarmored hand to fight with his sword. Makes no sense. It's like, yes, I don't know why the armor's on this side, but feel free to cut off my arm.
I guess you could use it to parry, like knock the sword out with the armored arm and then stab. Or like riposte, or sorry, not parry exactly.
He likes to live dangerously.
When you're that old, you
But
have
I'm
to
just
find ways to
looking
spice
at
things
the
up.
Ryan Reynolds and Triple H fight. Like, it still has cuts in it, but it's like way less than the other ones, I feel. It's
Yeah,
it's
they're
also
cutting they're cutting like a conversation, like it's almost 180 rule, where you don't
right.
lose track of where anyone is.
Yeah. It was funny because I see him like going back for the punches. Triple H's like, yeah, I've seen him do that like so many times. Like it's like, yep, that's how he looks when he's getting punched in the ring. It's just it's fun for me to see stuff like that. Yeah, they're just all fighting around. I think Whistler's just shooting things now. Oh yeah, we got the payoff for her shooting in 3,000 frames feet per second, because now she shoots the arrow through three or two or three at once. Well, she also gets plot armor and not hit at all. Deadpool.
How'd you do?
Yeah.
I don't think that would have happened. Honestly, I
Oh,
feel like there's too
no.
much friction going through the human body.
Yeah, the initial impact would have gotten rid of too much of the speed, even when they turn to dust, because it still needs to enter them first.
Yeah.
So you will still.
What
you'll
if it's a
probably still
magic arrow? Ooh.
lose. True.
Would have made more sense.
You know what would make even more sense? Just give her bullets.
Yeah.
Bullets don't exist.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Just
true.
because the enemies use bullets that and shoot at her without hitting her, she doesn't need to use them.
What year was this movie made again?
2005.
Yeah.
It came out 2004.
Oh, I was wrong
2004,
there.
yeah,
Honestly,
that's
earlier
right.
than I thought.
The same year as Spider-Man 2.
Oh boy, that was a
Oh, that's
big
embarrassing.
year. Big year for
Yeah, that is
superhero
very
movies.
embarrassing. It's very embarrassing.
Yeah, Blade and Dracula fight each other. He goes like through some glass and looks really weird. He then turns into his goopy form. Blade loses his blade, Lamau. Just kind of grapple. They just kind of slam into the floor. Like, I wish I could talk like about how cool everything looks, like in the other ones, but it's just so not that.
It's a bit of a yawn inducer.
It really is. Like the Dracula turns to his CG form where he has like the Reaper thing. Oh
Turns
yeah,
into Satan, you know.
Deadpool killed Triple H by using one of his UV bullets by putting it in his mouth and giving him 2 uppercuts.
Oh,
so it
see, there you
explodes.
go. Set up and payoff.
Yeah, woohoo! Good job,
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
You
now
did
he's-
the thing.
exciting.
Now he's fighting his ex, who is really strong sometimes.
See, it's a
Yeah.
good thing they made those incredibly impractical sunshine bullets.
Absolutely. Whistler is just climbing around, trying to get in place. She shoots the first bullet. Obviously, he's like, "Ha! I caught that one." And then he turns around back to Blade, but she shoots the second one. Ha! I didn't expect that. And then Blade takes the Vampire AIDS one and pushes in him, and then he explodes. All the vampires die, and he's like, "Haha! I respect you, Blade. You fought honorably. Yay!"
What does that mean?
And then, well, he's a warrior, and Blade is too, and he respects something. Deadpool is in this movie. Well, Ryan Reynolds is. Let's call him Deadpool because that's funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all the AIDS spreads and the vampires die in the vicinity, and
That wasn't me.
that actually scared
Oh,
me.
look at
that. I was like, what's
Someone
happening?
says this movie's over.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh my god, is Blade dead? Because they actually leave him there. They look like, oh, guess he's dead. And then
Is he though?
they just all go away. A whole SWAT team arrives, and they only find like ashes and stuff. Well, I guess the one FBI dude actually sees the ashes. Is that the one from the beginning? You know what? I actually don't give a shit. Never mind.
It is.
Well, there you go. And then we zoom out from the building, and woohoo, it's over. Actually, oh my god, is this the thing? Are they looking at his body now? Are they gonna cut him up? And then we get the goopy eyes. Hang on, I actually need this on. Oh.
This is the first ending, by the way. There are 3 endings.
Here it comes. Oh, not yet. Oops. They teased me. They teased me. And this is the only ending I've seen. Actually, there you go. Whoop. Oh fuck!
I will describe the other 2 endings.
I was too slow.
It's so
Doing
bad.
Whoop! It looks like the annoying orange eyes.
Yeah, he refused to fucking open his eyes. I don't know why.
For some reason, I'm just gonna lie here and don't open my eyes.
So, but
I
we
got-
need you to
like,
do
I
one
just-
thing.
I feel like I need to know the circumstances of why you would make that request. Or demand, I guess. It wasn't a request.
How
But-
come he's on the autopsy table, but he has underwear on?
Yeah,
Why
that wouldn't be a
don't
thing.
you?
Why don't you?
Uh,
And then he,
you know-
then he is on his motorcycle and rides to the sunset while Ryan Reynolds tells us that he's gonna be back if he's needed or something. And that's the end of
That's the end of the movie.
and the franchise.
Yeah. Oh, but here's what
By the
actually
way,
happened.
Hang on. This was 30 minutes I just went through. It's just 30 minutes
Yeah.
of fucking boring ass bollocks. It's such a letdown because all the fights in the
It's
other ones
just-
were so fucking cool and entertaining.
Yeah, this is a bunch of just poorly choreographed, shot and edited action. It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
of those things. It's poorly all of them.
Yeah, all culminating with the goopy eyes. That's a great reward. And yeah, that was Blade Trinity. But apparently we have more endings. And meme, take it over, take it from here. You know what's up.
Okay, but here's old-timey card time. Here's what actually happened. So, they take Blade's body back, but oh no, it wasn't actually Blade's body. It was Dracula the whole time. It was his final gift, as the Ryan Reynolds monologue explains, that he turned himself into Blade as a decoy, and then he changes back into Dracula on the table in front of them. And then Blade is actually there. And then we have the entire credits. And at the very end of the credits, I'm not joking, they have the word at the end of the credits.
Oh.
And
That hurt me.
then it's and then there's a post-credit scene where Blade is driving a car and nothing happens. I don't know if your version has the word because mine was clearly the theatrical cut. And it just had the word at the end as if to say word, yo. And I don't believe what I saw. You know, you can check your. Yes.
Oh. Why does that hurt me?
Oh, incredible.
Yes.
That physically hurts.
Yeah.
Was this Wesley's final revenge? Or was he just like, yeah, okay, I get to do an ending too? I was like, and whatever I put in my ending needs to be in the theatrical cut.
Word.
Yeah. But that's not actually how it ended. Cut to 6 months later. I think Whistler and King, and who is Deadpool, they're all like, "Oh, with all the vampires gone, who are we going to hunt?" And then Deadpool is all like, "Well, what do you get when you cross a vampire with a werewolf?" And then you hear like wolf noises off in the distance. They're in a casino, by the way, as well. They're in a casino, and they're like a very sticky neck. And then a werewolf jumps out onto the casino craps table and starts tearing people apart. And it's like a little crappy rubber mask, and it's like, and then they start shooting the werewolf, and then the movie ends.
Yay!
And that was Blade Trinity.
How did I not think of this? This is amazing.
That was a teaser for the Night Stalkers film coming to theaters in 2008.
I want to kill myself.
Word.
Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds.
Good lord. Yeah, this movie is fucking horrible. It's shockingly horrible. Like, it would feel right at home with today's cinema. I'm not even joking. Like, it's...
Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. I noticed on my tweet, like, for this episode of Metal's Forge, because people have replied, like, yeah, but it's still better than any of the things Marvel's doing lately. I'm like, I don't know, man.
No.
Like,
Sorry.
I think, like, if we're being honest, it's as bad. It is no better. Like, it's a movie that is just terrible in pretty much all regard. I like, as much as I jokingly often will say this about a movie that has nothing else going for it, I'm sorry, but Jessica Biel being attractive isn't a good enough reason to call this movie good.
No.
It just isn't.
The only reason
she's attractive. Don't get me wrong.
It would rank higher than a couple of them is because there's no universe is getting destroyed. I guess
so. Yeah. It's not. Well, I mean, in the Blade universe, I guess.
Oh, I mean, like in the actual, like, the world is
like universal.
Oh, okay.
Quantum
realms
are going to be massacred or something.
In fact, what are the stakes in this one?
Word.
What does Dracula actually want to do?
They're gonna put humans in sandwich bags and go yum 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 yum. That's the stake.
That's probably it.
But wasn't the deal that Dracula wasn't even really on board, and like he's just like, yeah, no, I'm just these people are fucked up.
Wake up.
I'm doing my own thing.
Like, oh, you failed. I guess I'll do something because I'm bored.
I'm gonna go threaten this baby in front of your arch enemy. Just because. Why? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to do today. Okay, I don't like this.
Actually, like the right thing to do.
I drank this goth chick earlier. She tasted like tattoo ink.
But I think this is the lowest stakes, if those are the stakes. Because, like, it's Blade 1 is basically the end of the world if he fucks up. Blade 2 is basically the end of the world again. But, like, they treat it as such. It feels like everyone's obligated to fight in this one. It's like, yeah, we gotta do this thing.
Yeah. Like X-Men 3, Spider-Man 3, I can say there are good things I can say about those films, which kind of is why we say that's what bad used to be. But this was just bad.
Yeah, it was actually really bad. It's it was significantly worse than I remember it being, and I didn't remember it being very good.
Yeah. Oh, I have one compliment.
This is probably the first time I've seen it in like 15 years, but man, it's like worse than I remember by quite a bit. Like,
well, as a compliment, the movie needs it.
I do. The CGI is better than Blade 2. That's all I got.
In some
Although there was that CGI city at the end of this film that made me want to kill myself.
It might have been used more sparingly. I didn't notice it, so I just was like, it's probably better.
Yeah, I think they did do a lot of practical stuff with like the Dracula monster makeup shit and everything. And like, I guess it didn't look bad. It just wasn't shot particularly well. Oh yeah,
that's funny. Yeah. Any closing thoughts? I can't wait to never talk about this again.
I hate you for making me watch this.
You said yes. I was just asking if anyone is not gonna make it, and you said I'm gonna watch it. So that's your fault.
I didn't know it'd be this bad.
Me neither.
Honestly, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't, and this is not a new movie to me.
Like I've seen this, and
what happened? Yeah, see, I thought you hadn't seen it. But,
no, I've seen it. My dad watched all of them. Fun fact, shouldn't be surprising. We watched this one the least amount.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
no shocks there
with this franchise, right?
It was mostly 2.
Oh, I will say this much: I've not seen a still person yet say that this is the best Blade movie. So there is hope for this.
I feel like the universal sentiment is, this one is not canon. We ignore this one. That's mostly what I hear.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's become code for bad film. Like that's all you really need to say. Like it's just the film you think of when people want to say something is bad.
I mean, I really think a lot of people remember it favorably though, because they're thinking, oh, this is kind of the first Deadpool movie, and Jessica Biel was really hot, and it's like, no, I don't know, man, watch it again. If you're a person who says that and you haven't seen it in a long time, watch it again, and you'll notice it is actually bad. It's not
this or Thunderdome. Metal, which is better? Thunderdome.
Watching Ryan
Reynolds, it's not even hard. Not even a hard question.
Watching him struggle to tell jokes with someone who will not interact with him is painful.
Oh yeah, it's quite something.
But I think it's a rose-tinted glasses thing that once people have seen Deadpool, they'll go back and look at this and be like, yeah, this is young Ryan Reynolds kind of doing the same thing. That's pretty cool. And it's like, think about how much different it is, though.
I wanted to end the stream with the funny Rings of Power tweet they did, but they deleted it.
Oh God, yeah, they deleted it.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, there's screenshots all over the place.
Yeah,
I could get you one.
I think I might have one actually. Do you want one?
Dude, I couldn't believe when I saw it. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was so funny.
So incompetent. Like,
you gotta figure out
I don't know how you make that mistake.
That is not even the mistake is totally fine, you know, honestly, because if you look at each of the individual pictures, I absolutely see what they thought it was gonna look like. But you need to delete that right away. Like the second you hit send on that tweet and you see it, be like, oh yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. We gotta rework this. We gotta do something entirely different. But no, they didn't.
Abort.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not important. I just thought it would be funny. But anyway, before we run out of here, first of all, don't watch this movie, and also thanks for hanging out. And Fringy, are you there, or is he getting coffee, or?
I don't know, but I did post the Lord of the Rings thing.
Okay,
I know I had it. I was like, yeah, I screen capped that. It was fucking hilarious.
That image is so funny. That's such a good meme.
Hang on, I'll put it on screen.
I hadn't seen this before.
It is glorious. It is glorious.
Oh wow!
I think this post will go down in the meme history books. I don't think this will ever be forgotten.
Chat, for everyone who's not knows it. So Prime Video Malaysia tweeted this last night, and this has not been altered. This is the screenshot of the original post. Yeah.
But if you click on those
images, it speaks for itself.
The image actually.
The
image actually is half his face on both sides, though. It's just that's how Twitter formatted it, and they were like, "Well, nothing we can do about that."
Yeah, it's really funny because
Oh,
if
yeah.
you click on the pictures individually, they're like full, so you know what they've been going for. But this is what came out.
Like
It's
I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
so funny.
I feel like there are templates that you would use to prevent this, right?
Not
Because
in
like
Malaysia, apparently.
I guess not. They're behind.
You know how you say someone's eyes are too close together? Well, his face is just too close
His
together.
face is too close together.
Yeah, this guy is like got to be Anya Taylor-Joy's nemesis.
Anya Taylor soy.
Oh boy. Anyway, that's that. Before we get out of here, what are you guys up to? Fringy, what are you doing? You get anything crazy going on, or just slaving
Well,
away?
Acolyte's over.
It's
Episode
Joel.
8 just went out, but yeah, that's done. Halo will be coming out soon.
Yo.
And otherwise,
Yeah.
just working away in the dungeon.
Nice.
I will
Nice.
kind of
Happy.
sound like crap on some of those, everybody. I had a Discord mixing board issue that I've since sorted out. Sorry for
Nice.
Cool. Well, then obviously all the links are down below. Swoll, you doing some more strumblages?
Yeah, I'm still working my way through Metal Gear Solid 3. I just did
Nice.
the end fight, which is fantastic. I love that fight.
Ah,
What, against the boss?
Yeah, the end.
Nice.
how did you
Oh,
beat him?
no, sorry, the fighting. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, the fight.
The fight against the boss named the end. Okay.
Yes.
I got it.
How did you?
I
How
thought
did
you meant
beat
the
him?
end. Right, it's in like the
Um,
last one.
I followed him around. I pretty much called the entire time. Just
Yeah, it's the way to do
Yeah.
it.
Nice.
Do you have the
I-
thermals?
no. I used
Oh,
I used
thermals.
the
Thermals help a
directional.
lot.
Really? I just used
Or night vision?
directional.
Is it night vision? I forget which one, but you can see his footsteps.
Oh.
Footprints.
Do you do you know the one of the alternate ways to kill him? There's actually two
Yeah.
funny ones
Yeah.
you can do.
I know about the weak one, where if you wait a week, he will die of old age.
Yeah. So do you remember the scene when you see him for the first time in his wheelchair?
Oh, I know about that one too.
Yeah, you can snipe him on the wheelchair, it explodes. And then he's
Yeah,
dead. That's really funny.
That
In fact,
actually
I
does
thought
give
of
you an
that.
alternate boss fight. It gives you
Really?
instead you have like special forces troops in that area instead of the end.
Oh, that's cool.
So they did account for that, is what I mean. Like it's not
Yeah.
just like you don't break the game when you kill the end too early.
It's also really
that
funny
is a
if
thing
you-
you are allowed to do.
If you stay in place when you shoot him, one of the wheels of the wheelchair I think hits you in the face. I think. I don't know if that's a real memory or if I just made that up, but that's in my memory. And until I try it again, it doesn't happen again. That's real.
I did try to shoot him then, though, but I didn't have a sniper, so I just unloaded my pistol in his direction.
Yeah, I think you do need the sniper to do it.
But yeah, I have a few days off coming up
Yep.
at the end of this week and the beginning of next week, so I'll probably wrap that up, and then I
Nice.
think I want to play Bayonetta 2
No,
on stream.
sounds good.
That might be fun.
Go fleam around.
Nice.
Talking about unloading, Meme, what are you up to?
Yeah. So I've had two major breakthroughs in the last couple of weeks. One, I finally figured out what the hell was causing my editing software to run like grandma's old underpants. So
Oh,
turns out there was one setting
Oh,
buried
no.
deep in the fucking graphic settings of Windows, like GPU scheduling shiminabub or something. And I flicked it off, restarted the computer. Suddenly, everything was working as it should. Suddenly, Premiere booted up and took only like 10 minutes to load everything rather than 2 fucking hours. This is what I was
Oh,
dealing
boy.
with. 2 hours of, like, it would load up really slowly, and then it would take another fucking hour for like everything to become usable. And then by that point, I'm down my 4th rabbit hole on YouTube or whatever, figuring out Nazi conspiracies or whatever the hell YouTube is serving me
And
up
you're
that
just
day.
tired by the time it's ready.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm in another zone now. Premiere, call me again later, baby. But now I can I've got that. But the other thing was so I've been suffering from some chronic fatigue that I didn't quite understand, and it was coming with all sorts of symptoms. And we talked about the seizure thing before, the weird thing a couple of weeks back. But I think I finally figured out what that was. So my dad is letting me use his gym membership because he's only using it for classes. So I figured, I should run my macros again because I haven't done that in like 5 years, just to make sure that I don't like kill myself while I'm lifting weights and shit. So I did all the macros. Protein came up good. Actually, I'm actually having more protein than I need. Fats came up good. Then the carbohydrates came up, and it was like, I am not even having a third of the amount of carbohydrates that I need for my body weight. And I was just like, oh, that's why I feel like absolute fucking assholes all the time. Oh,
that can happen.
Yeah, so I ran to the store. I bought a bunch of muesli bars and energy bars. I inhaled, deep-throated a Clive energy bar, and it was like my body and brain went off power-saving mode, and it was like, oh,
all of a sudden you
I'm
have
myself
glucose again.
Cool. Why didn't I figure this out 5 months ago when I said I was going to have this done by 4 months ago? So that's also why some people were like, is meme on something? It's like, yes, proper nutrition.
Proper nutrition.
Yeah, that's what we're on.
It's
So
the amount of energy you have when you eat properly.
yes, exactly. My meds are actually working as they are intended. And I can actually just exist. So
awesome.
So that's speeding things up, and then I'll be right back to doing things and stuff on the channel. I've got I think the number of notes in Obsidian that are labeled video idea has like crossed like 100 at this point. So it's like I'm coming up with them faster than I can get them out, which is probably a good thing. That means I've got plenty of stuff to fall back on after this is done. But so that's the update there. Now things and stuff and
Okay.
Cool. Link below to go fleam his fleams. Hard. Yeah, good stuff. Mark, you gonna play your little nerd games more?
I don't know. I think today I might just crush the 2 Deadpool movies, and I want to do a rewatch of House of the Dragon, so I'm fresh for next week's, at least, I don't know, recording? Actually, Fringy, do you know, are we doing the EFAP live or are we recording it?
Wait, what? Sorry?
For House of the Dragon next week?
I can't remember.
Well, anyways, I want to just make sure that my House of the Dragon knowledge is sharp, so I think I'm going to spend the rest of the day watching things that I need to know for next week's episode, because if I'm fresh on Deadpool, I'll probably have more stuff to say about the new one. And as well as EFAP that is going to be happening after the Metals Forge, at least for me.
Oh, wow.
And Fringy.
Mark's trying to get to my hour number. He's getting on there.
I'm tied with Little Platoon for appearances now, I think.
Yeah.
I checked out efap.me the other day. I was like, oh, look at that.
Honestly, if anyone wants to break that number, I don't need to be on any EFAP for like a year for that to happen.
Yeah, no, you will be at the top of that forever.
It's actually insane. Every time I look at it, it's like, oh, I have a problem.
No, it's good stuff.
Fringy was on so many times he transcended the list and just went up to host.
Yeah, he just didn't even get to be on the guest list anymore.
That's the hack. That's the hack. You just need to be on it every time, and then you're obviously on there more than everyone. Good stuff. But yeah, that's that. I mean, for me, I don't think I have anything specific going on next week, so I'm probably going to try to finish up Wind Waker finally. We'll see. I actually don't know how long this is going to be. I did the 2 temples, so I got the full Master Sword now, so now it's on to the really boring part, which is collecting all the Triforce shards, which I'm probably just going to use a list because I can't be bothered to find them all by myself. But we will see. And that's just going to be slaving away on my editing. I started up with the visual flames as well, so hopefully that's not gonna take too much longer. There's still like a couple of sound things that I'm not too keen on, but I'm just gonna fix those along the way. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be redrafting my audio for the next 2 years, and I'll never release that video. Something I noticed, I have like some audio that sounds different from the other ones, even though I was at the same place talking to it. I don't know. That's something that I just need to figure out while time goes on. I don't know. But that's the me
I was gonna
problem.
record my Hades video like 2 days ago.
Something
Yeah.
wrong.
I was just saying I was gonna record my Hades video 2 days ago, and another update came out, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I should probably fiddle around with this and
Yeah.
at least try to get it as current as I can.
But yeah, hopefully it's not going to take too long anymore. I am hoping that it's not going to take me more than another month with all the times I can juggle around with all the things I do, because soon Rings of Power and all that good stuff is gonna be
Oh god,
here.
we're not doing Rings of Power on this show, are we?
No, but
Thank God. Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna do something with it probably, because I covered it by myself last year.
All
I want
right.
to do that again. I don't know how that's gonna look, because it's not gonna be a forged thing. It's just gonna be something.
I mean,
by
like,
itself.
I'll watch it if you want me to, but I thought I was going to be
you're
able to
fine,
avoid
you're fine.
Acolyte, and they pulled me back in.
I might experiment a little bit with that stuff and to cover some things. We will see, but there's probably something coming out while this is going on. And while this is going on, I think this crosses over with Agatha as well.
Oh
which,
god.
Yeah, dude, September,
Oh,
October is
no.
going to be insane.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fun. Well, it's going to be fun partly and fun cringe, as always.
I kind of like, now that I'm playing a PS2 game that I'm really enjoying, I kind of want to just take this fall to be like my Thanos at the end of Infinity War phase, where I'm just going to be chilling in the woods, playing old stuff, enjoying
Right, yeah.
everything.
But also next week,
I'm bad
EDF
for
6
Arcane,
is
though.
coming out next week, so I hope that release is going to be good, because I fucking love EDF, and that game is really fun. So
I'll play it with you if you want. I
Hell
like
yeah,
EDF.
I always love playing those games. It's really fun. But yeah, that's
Hi,
been
puppy.
going on. That's been happening. And obviously next week we're gonna do Deadpool on the Forge, and I already roped in Weekend Warrior. He's actually gonna join us.
Oh, cool.
on that one.
I was trying to get him for the first Weeb Forge, which I will bully you into eventually.
Oh yeah, Mark wants me to watch Chainsaw Man and wants to do a Forge in it, so that might happen. We'll see. I'm gonna sample the show next week and see if I care enough to watch it.
I think Chainsaw Man is edgy and funny enough that even if you don't like the story, I think you'll be entertained. But I think the
I
story
mean,
is
I
quite
saw
good.
some clips and the action scenes look very well animated, so I'll definitely get something out of that. So
I've been reading the manga, and it's like full-blown storyboards for those animes. Like they did a really good job of adapting it, and it's quite close. Like I've not noticed really any differences except for maybe 2 extra lines or scenes that went on a little longer in the manga. But yeah, it's good adaptation.
But yeah, I mean, how many episodes is it? Like 12 or something? I
12,
guess?
yeah, 12.
I mean,
they're
that's-
like 20 minutes each.
I mean,
like,
yeah, that's just
anime
normal
episodes are
anime
pretty
size,
short.
so that's stomped out really quickly. But obviously, if I want to talk about it, I'll have to go for it a bit slower. But we'll see. I don't know when this is going to be, but that's probably going to happen when there's.
It will definitely be after Deadpool. Deadpool
Oh,
is
yeah, for sure.
next week, 100%.
Absolutely. But yeah, there you have a little future plan thingy, I guess, randomly. Also, I'm going to throw out a tweet probably tomorrow, because I forgot to do it this weekend because I'm stupid, with a couple of new names for this theme, just to see what the populace thinks. We have like 2 basically that we have like as a front runners, and then just 2 other ones. Let's see how what the populace thinks of the names, and then we'll see what's going on. But that's basically it. Anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out. Thanks for the guests and hanging out as always. Always good fun to have you on, lads.
Thanks for having me.
Word.
And
Thanks for coming.
we'll be back soon. Goodbye.
See you later, everybody.
Bye, everybody.